bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum, ba-da-bum, bum.
Hello. What's up, guys? I'm Rhys,
And I am Joseph.
and this is the third episode of the Whip It Out podcast.
Somehow we're still going, dude.
You didn't do the whip.
Oh, that was so...
God
so
damn
good.
it, dude. Thought we were going to be friends, and you already let me down.
Let's go again. Off the top.
No. This is it. We're going.
Oh, no.
No edits.
I'll be
this
gone
week.
next episode.
No edits this week. Captain Docs.
Damn, yeah. I'm not going to be doxing you again this week. I'm sorry about that.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
Joe.
No.
So anyway, we are friends this week.
We are.
If you watched episode 2, it was basically an argument for an hour.
It got a bit heated.
Yeah,
The room
it
got
was all
heated.
Joe's fault. He was a bad host.
Right, here
But
we go.
this week I'm the
Starting
host.
again. Starting again, guys.
But yeah, if you did watch episode 2, thanks for watching it.
Yep.
Please leave a like and subscribe.
If you've not already watched it, I'd recommend going watching it because, this is a series, It's
You need the continuity.
yeah, there's lore to us, okay?
Yeah.
You need to follow
You
it.
need our story.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. We had a fight last week. This is our makeup
This is
episode.
our makeup sex.
Yeah. Wow.
Makeup podcast, yeah.
Yeah. What?
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about this week? Sex?
Sex. It's the sex, no. But what we're actually going to be speaking about is something that's quite interesting. Something that's a bit...
But before we get to that...
I'm going to say something a bit different
Oh
to our
yeah,
usual.
we got a different episode this week. That's a good point.
And I'm sure that if you've clicked the video, you'll see by the title. But before we get into that...
Yeah, before we get into that...
I think we should mention that, like we said, there's previous episodes that we've done. Go and check them out.
Yeah.
Sub to the channel. We've got a lot more content coming. Mostly going to be podcasts. Like, that's all we're kind of aiming to. If we end up doing other stuff in the future, that's something that we go along with. But we're kind of building up the channel, doing hour-long podcasts. That's what we're aiming to. We enjoy them, chatting away.
And it's mainly for our own enjoyment. This is fun to record right now.
Yeah, good theories kind of things to do and, like, good topics to speak about.
It's cool if someone listens to it. That's an added bonus. I guess.
Yeah. Thank you, guys, if you're not us watching.
And talking of people listening to it,
Nice
from
segue.
episode 2, thank you.
Nice.
From
very
episode,
nice.
this is our host Joe, so just
Oh,
watch right.
down.
Take notes.
I'm taking notes as we speak. Scribbling.
From episode 2, we got our good friend of the show, Dude Jacko again,
Dude Jacko, guy is consistent.
leaving a comment mainly because we promoted him. 'Cause
Yes.
he has way more viewers and subs than us.
Yeah.
We're trying to leech off him. No, we're not. I'm joking.
Where's our shout out?
No, but we do like his videos. He's got a video on Iron Man.
Brand new character. Is it character analysis? Would you say?
On
Breakdown kind of on Iron Man.
Check that out.
Once again,
we're plugging him.
we're plugging him because he's a consistent viewer. We want to be doing this with viewers, kind of shouting him out. If,
He said he liked our show, so
yep, making a bit of a community out of it as well. Well, he's already like a friend of ours, or yours, should I say?
yeah, he hates you.
He hates me consistently. Hates me. Just disliking that
Yeah.
video that I'm in. But no, I think he's like we said, he's consistently watching. And once again, just shout out to
and
him
he
for
was
watching. And thank
very
you.
happy to be promoted in the same video as Video Game Donkey.
That was
which
true.
is a very
Yeah.
big honour.
Yeah, I've never had that.
No.
I need that on my CV, dude.
I don't think it's going to happen. But also, our second biggest fan, Eli Lopez, in the comment section.
Yeah.
Quite an interesting, controversial theory in our
Yeah.
comments. Minecraft is the cure for cancer.
Maybe he's legit. Maybe
So
he's
Eli,
a doctor.
if
Maybe
you got
he's
more
a
on this,
doctor.
let us know, because I play loads of Minecraft.
Yeah, dude.
I used to.
I used to be a little PC Minecrafter, and then
So
I
maybe,
went
we're cured.
maybe we are.
Or,
Eli, if you are a doctor of Minecraft and you've got your PhD in Minecraft,
Dr. Lopez.
get back to us, dude,
Yeah.
and let us know what helps us cure it.
Well, thanks for your comment, though.
And then he also did comment first as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of maybe he's old-time YouTube commenter doctor.
Maybe.
Eli, interesting comments, and thanks, man.
Thanks
For
your
commenting.
comment.
I'll
Thanks
see
for
you again on
watching
this
it.
episode.
Yeah. Also, shout out to my friend Ryan once again. I'm
Your
just going to
friends.
shout out my friends.
See, I never
But no.
shout out my friends because they don't exist.
Yeah. But Ryan, I've got on my notes here. Ryan said it's cool. That's actually a note. You can see that.
I can see
He
it on
did
your
say
paper.
our podcast was cool.
I don't know whether it's legit because that is your handwriting, but I'm guessing he sent it.
Well,
Yeah.
it's my writing.
Oh, I thought it was like messenger pigeon in.
Yeah, that's how I communicate.
Oh, messenger pigeons.
No, but he said it was cool, and he's cool. So Brody, who asked for a link, hasn't mentioned it since.
Wow,
so
Brody,
ex-friend of the show, Brody.
ex-friend, dox him again. But yeah, just another shout out, to anybody who is, fans or like friends. My mum was
Joe's
in on
mum.
it. My mum was in on it. She was straight on it.
MILF.
You don't know her, dude. I And I wish I didn't know when you say things like that. But yeah,
I'm kidding, Joe's mum. Thanks
she's
for watching our
fantastic.
show.
Yeah, she's cool.
Love you.
She's a cool dude. She's probably my best friend, which is a bit sad.
That's not sad.
No, she's cool. But yeah, I don't live with her. I don't live near her. So she rang up and she was like, "What you up to?" And I was like, "I'm podcasting." And she was like, "Give me a link." I'm straight on it. And she's been telling all her friends about it. So we've probably got quite a
Really?
Yeah, we've got probably a demographic of
Shout out to the mums.
middle-aged women, which is
I'm
pretty,
single.
That's the demographic I'm going for. So yeah, no. Once again, thank you very much for that, Mum. And then moving on from there, yeah, just like we said, if you're watching and you've got anything to comment, get down in the comment section below and
Yeah.
comment. Because there's going to be whatever you want. If you want to speak about a subject in the next episode, we can bring up your comment and then talk about it. So
We'll talk about anything.
yeah, dude.
I just said Minecraft is a cure for cancer, so
But then again, we do think Eli Lopez is a doctor, so you
Yeah.
got to take doctor's advice. Give Eli Lopez an apple
yeah.
because an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
But no, we want the doctor.
Doctor Who?
What's that?
But yes, moving on from there, we're going to be getting into the topic today.
We will,
We've done
yes.
enough of an intro. Let's get straight into the topic. What people have probably come for.
The title of the video, which we haven't written yet.
We've not written. We're in the past. You could say we're in the days of future past.
To us listening to this, I hope you picked a good title.
Are you going to pass over my joke?
What was that, a joke?
I'm
Yeah,
not
so
laughing.
guys, to the days of future past.
Oh no! He's done me. No.
I hope our title is First Class.
Wow.
I hope our title is X-Men 2.
And I hope this podcast is the last stand.
You should have taken the last stand.
Is it last stand? Oh, damn it! I said
You
last
said last
stand.
stance.
I said last stand.
X-Men last stands.
I thought it was X-Men Last Stand. Who can? You know what? I think that's okay because it was an awful film. We can all agree that. I kind of washed it from my
I
memory.
like number 3.
I don't think number 3 was
In a bad
that-
way.
I don't think. Yeah.
I like the bit at the end where she's
Oh,
like
the Juggernaut.
blasting Wolverine and he gets like stripped. I like
Right.
that.
Well, as good as that is, we're not going to be speaking about that. Let's get into the topic, and I'm going to introduce the topic because Rhys is taking way too long for a host, and I don't criticise him unlike he
It's been
does.
7 minutes, dude.
It's been way too long on an intro. People are bored. People
Wow,
want to
you're
get to
such
it.
a bad co-host.
We're going to be recasting the X-Men with the MCU in mind. So let's just take, for example, that everybody's going to be recasted because it is the X-Men.
Yeah, we're going off the potential, apparently currently happening, Disney merging with Fox or buying Fox.
Yes.
So that's what we're going off.
So if that does happen, everybody who is, in the films at the moment, including the Dark Phoenix, which hasn't come out, which is basically going to delay this a little bit. So maybe that's affected certain picks, but these are just our favourites, things that, actors and actresses that we think will work in certain roles as certain characters. So
Yeah.
these are just our picks. It's a bit of fun.
It's a fantasy,
Yeah, we could potentially read out all the X-Men that we've done.
Yeah.
Because-
also, disclaimer, we both spent about 10 minutes on this.
Yeah, we kind of went through actors and actors.
We haven't
and actresses.
spent days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
analysing.
give us a break, all right?
All right, damn, Rhys, they've not started yet, man. But I think what we should potentially do is read out the ones that we've done, because then you guys in the comment section, if you are watching and you're a fan of X-Men or just Marvel in general, then you can potentially write up your own list and we can read that out maybe next episode.
Yeah.
See what people did.
Yeah.
So I think
let
that's
us know
kind of
your
good.
picks.
So do you want to start reading through who we've got from?
Just go through all the ones we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and then people
So,
can write up their own list.
I picked the list, honestly. You picked a few of the ones at the end, but
Yeah.
I just Googled the X-Men.
And then the first
just-
ones that
I'm
came
just-
up.
yeah,
kind of
and,
thing. Yeah.
So we're going to be discussing Wolverine, Professor X, Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey, Magneto, Nightcrawler, Beast, Iceman, Quicksilver potentially. We've got a bit of a
It's kind of just an honourable
drama
mention.
on that.
Yeah.
Colossus, which I also say there's drama on that as well. So we'll lump those two together maybe at the end.
Yeah.
And Rogue.
But Rogue was just wrote last. There's no controversy around Rogue.
Yeah.
We thought we can't go without having
We'll
a bit
leave
of Rogue.
Quicksilver and Colossus till last
Yeah.
because there's issues with them.
Okay.
But again, it's our fantasy list. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
without any further ado, do you want to start from the beginning, or what do you think? Should we talk about how we're going to kind of think of introducing them? Maybe that's like, so my theory was behind it, if they're going to get introduced to the MCU, they're going to be moving into this kind of casting, they're going to be moving in at around about episode 4. Sorry, not episode 4.
Phase
Phase
4.
4, sorry, my mistake. So they're going to be moving in on Phase 4. So there might be characters that, as of recording this, are in Avengers that may not be when these guys get moved in. So, you know, doors will be opened for potential
Iron
new
Man,
people to
Captain
come in.
America.
Yeah, okay, you know, we don't know. Anything can happen. But yeah, so the guys that we've got, we're kind of guessing from what we have at the moment and who we guess is not going to be in.
Neither of us work
Phase
for
4.
Marvel.
Yeah, sadly, Kevin Feige has not picked up on this podcast. Just
Kevin,
yet.
when you watch this,
Goddamn Kevin, man.
hire
what are you
us,
doing?
man.
Yeah, man.
Nice hat.
You need two little Brits chilling out.
Who don't know anything.
Kevin, stop it, man. Take off your baseball cap and listen to our podcast.
I like his cap.
I like his cap, but I think you should take it off and give it me.
Oh, fair enough.
But yeah, so let's go ahead, and I think let's just say they're going to be introduced in Phase 4. We don't know what that's going to be.
Yeah.
But these are just actors and actresses that we think would be good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
I'll let you
we'll
go
go
first.
one at a time, yeah, and we'll
By all
discuss
means.
them.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we'll start with the big man, Wolverine.
My favourite growing up,
Wolverine
Logan, James
Who-
Howlett.
was most recently he was played by Hugh Jackman.
Really? Hugh Jackman played Wolverine?
Well, also you're taking the mic because
Yeah.
you're a shit co-host.
Yeah.
But I've written down who played them before as well,
Yes.
just in case our audience doesn't know, Joe.
No, I'm messing.
Stop
you know,
being
I wasn't
inconsiderate.
doing it nasty to you, dude.
What
I was,
if
I was
Eli Lopez doesn't know?
Oh, right. Sorry, Eli. And sorry, all the Elis out there that don't know. But Hugh Jackman has been playing Wolverine for a long time.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Perfect kind of person to kind of get into the role, but wasn't when he started. There was a lot of controversy when he first got the role back in 2000 in the original X-Men. So yeah, I think it's... I don't like my pick for Wolverine before we get
Alright,
into it,
well,
but I think Hugh Jackman...
Don't shit on your own one.
just can play me down.
I've
But
got here, right? Oh, I've got a couple for mine.
go on.
Right, ready?
Would you want me to go first then? Because I've got one. I've not got fill in.
Right, you go first.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I think if you've got backup, then we can pick from yours. I feel like mine's not going to get
Okay,
picked.
just tell us yours.
Right, so my guy is going to be an obvious. He's going to be a big guy. I went with Tom Hardy to start. Now, hold out. Maybe it's a bit of an odd pick. I'm not too sure, but I thought Tom Hardy. In the comics, I wanted to go back to comics book Wolverine. Comic book Wolverine is actually 5'3", right?
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman is actually 6'3", but you know through camera trickery they kind of made him seem a bit shorter. But even still,
Did they do that?
they did do that. They did certain shots like.
But he looks massive in some of the later
He
films.
does look massive. I don't think there's.
Did they give up on it?
Maybe potentially they did, but back in the comics, the Wolverine that I grew up like reading comics books of, and you know with the X-Book comic, the series, the cartoon, grew up watching that and stuff and loved it to bits. X-Men was my thing when I was younger, by the way.
Can I just... I
Go
know
on.
you're talking about Wolverine. Did you read the X-Men comics?
I did, but I was a bit more. I think the thing that got me into it was around about the films.
Okay.
And then
But
I
you've
think
read some of the comics, because
I've read quite a few. Of the
haven't
comics.
read the comics. So
Yeah.
that could be an interesting...
The comics and the graphic
Mine
novels
is
and
just
stuff.
kind of going to be off what I know from the movies.
Dude,
and-
I'm a big nerd on it, honestly. But
Yeah.
like I said, the films were what got me into it. So Hugh Jackman was like kind of like. I say the films and stuff. I kind of watched the cartoon a bit when I was younger.
Yeah, I watched some of that.
And that, like, when I watched the films, that got me back into the cartoon. And then I
Yeah.
got into the cartoon, and then I started reading graphic novels when I was a bit older and stuff, and comics and stuff. So Wolverine, like I said, big fan growing up. And I think Tom Hardy will fill it because Tom Hardy is smaller. He's 5'9". That's his build age on IMDb, I believe, and you know on other websites. So we can go off what they say. Maybe they do a bit more taller, so he might be a bit shorter. But 5'9" is what it says. He's a bit more close to that 5'3". I know he has just been casted as Venom, and this is something that went through my mind. Venom is in it, but potentially he's not going to be crossing over because of his R
I
rating.
don't know if he is in it or not.
Well,
That's
he's
very unclear. at
I'm
the
saying
minute.
he's in Marvel. You know, he's just got his own
he's
film.
playing
Let's
the
just
character,
go with
yeah.
that. Potentially, there's no crossover because with him being R-rated, there's talks about him eating heads and stuff. He's going to be a bit too much. So I went with Tom Hardy because I know he can play gritty. I've watched him in Peaky Blinders. He plays kind of like an anti-villain. He's like twisted, but you never know what his character's going to do. He's dark. But then again, we've seen that with Bane. He's played Bane. Bane was an interesting kind of villain. It shows that he can play a villain, but then at the same time, now he's going for this anti-hero. He's always got a darkness to whoever he plays.
Yeah.
No matter, a lot of people like likable characters like Bane. He can kind of twist it to do something a bit different. So I thought Tom Hardy. I did want to try and find a Canadian actor because I know that Wolverine is specifically Canadian. Somebody that I was thinking about was Will Arnett, but then I thought, no, I do like Will Arnett, but no.
You've gone way deeper than I have on this.
But yeah, so I think I went with Tom Hardy for my pick. He's gritty, he's a bit smaller, he can kind of fit the comic book, what I was thinking when I grew up. Grow your hair out, grow the beard, I think he could fit that. So
Okay.
I went Tom Hardy, dude. Who have you got?
I got two.
Go on, fire away.
Christian Bale
Oh, interesting. Okay.
and Kit Harington. I'm not saying both. I'm
Kit
saying
Harington's an
either.
interesting one. Kit Harington obviously looks like him. That's the kind of thing that, like,
Yeah. Okay. That
was the struggle. Go on.
Kit Harington, I think, is more. I'm thinking he's popular right now. He's doing Game of Thrones basically. He'll draw in people, but I don't know. From his Game of Thrones work, I'm thinking maybe he wouldn't actually be that good at. Maybe he could do it, but maybe
He's been called quite wooden in places. But
Yeah.
the Jon Snow character, he plays that well.
But like I wouldn't say Jon Snow is anything like Wolverine.
That's what I'm saying. He plays Jon
Christian
Snow.
Bale, though, we know can play like crazy.
Yeah.
And can get massive.
Yeah.
I don't know his height. I didn't stalk him like you did.
Yeah.
And look up his IMDb height. But we know he can
Wolverine,
change
though.
his body in many different. Like he shrinks and grows all the time with diets and stuff.
Yeah, insane.
He can get Batman massive, and he can do Batman crazy. I think the Batsuit restricted him a lot as well. If you give him a Wolverine, I'm not saying go for the costume. I'm thinking more like I'm thinking the Wolverine is not going to be wearing a costume as much.
No.
He's going to be in whatever.
Yeah.
And make him a lot more free. Grow out his beard, the hair, whatever. Just make him rabid.
Fair enough.
I'm thinking like a rabid Wolverine.
Yeah.
Who's everything we want, like cutting people up and stuff.
Yeah. See, I kind of went. I like your picks. I think Christian Bale's a really interesting one off the wall kind of thing. I think it's one that I would never have thought about. British again. All three British actors to kind of play him. Like I said, I did want somebody Canadian. I looked up, but all I saw was like, actors that didn't really fit the kind of bill what I was thinking about. Like I said, it's not an interesting one because so many younger actors and stuff that we were kind of like looking at, like I was looking about Tom Hardy's age. They kind of clean shaven in a bit, like it's hard to envisage them with that, like, just going full kind of animal, letting it out. And that's kind of why I picked Tom Hardy. Kit Harington's an interesting one. I think he did Pompeii, that film where it was like about a volcano and stuff, and like he was the lead actor. I think that kind of bombed. I know he plays Jon Snow well. Would he play like a rabid animal?
Honestly, I'm turning on my own.
Yeah, you're not
get rid of Kit Harington.
Christian Bale is a very interesting one, but is he not too synonymous with Batman? That's what I worry about with that. But this
could be his new thing. Take over as Wolverine. He might be a bit old. He might not want to do it, but it's all fantasy, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Another one
and he could do the emotional depth, I think. As well.
But just a quick one that I did see, but I don't know whether he would be able to get that wild animal, is Keanu Reeves. I saw when I was doing a bit of research.
Talking about wooden actors.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people were recommending that, but that's something that he's Canadian and stuff. He'd be able to, fit the role a bit like as that. But that's pretty much all he fits.
You just want him to be Canadian.
Yeah, I think John Wick's like the thing that a lot of people were suggesting in articles I read, and I thought, is it enough? Is he anywhere similar to the character? But for me personally,
John Wick's dark, but he's still kind of wooden.
Yeah,
that's the character.
That's the character in it. Yeah,
I think Wolverine needs to be emotional, angry, and
we know Tom Hardy can do that. Tom Hardy is a diverse character.
So is bloody Christian Bale.
Christian Bale is, but I don't know whether he fits it as good as Tom Hardy. And I know Tom Hardy has been cast, like we said, as Venom, but
I don't think
Josh Brolin.
Tom Hardy's a gooder actor as Christian Bale.
No, it's not about how good they are. It's how they
Bane
kind of fit
wasn't
the role.
great. I don't think.
Bane wasn't great, but he kind of did his own turn on it. He did his own spin. But it was something like, they didn't stick to the comic book Bane, which was basically, fueled up, junky, kind of like massive beast thing. They did something that was a bit more depth, and it was more about the plot around, what was it, Ra's al Ghul's daughter, what was it, Talia Al Ghul? Yeah. So, Talia Al Ghul, it was more about that, like, kind of flip, and then he didn't really get his full showing. It would have been a bit interesting if they flipped it at the ending and then kind of, like, roided him up and then got him massive, and then he did become that Bane. Maybe, did the comic book Bane that people were looking for. But like
sticking to this.
He's kind of got his own twist, and I just think, I know he has been cast as Venom, but he's not really in the MCU, and he's got a darkness to him. It's hard to kind of cast Wolverine. He's like a childhood hero for me. I know he's not even real, but it's so hard to kind of cast. I don't, honestly, personally, I wouldn't say there's an ideal person to fit it at the moment, but somebody
I think there is, and it's called Christian Bale.
I'm not feeling. I don't know with Christian Bale.
Going off like the trailers for Venom, I'm debating whether Tom Hardy can even act.
He's a fantastic actor, and for you to say that,
his
that's
voice in
disgusting.
Venom sounds awful. His
Yeah, but that's not
accent-
him. That would be down to the sound
That is
engineers.
him.
It would be down to the sound
His
engineers.
accent he puts on in it is him.
Oh, did you? I thought you meant the voice of Venom.
No. The voice of Venom sounds good.
Right, I was going to say
Him when he's talking like a
yeah.
normal dude sounds like a impression of.
And that
what's his
makes
name?
him more perfect for Wolverine. Just grunts and saying
No.
"bub" in an American accent. The less dialogue. I think we're going to come to an undecided one, and I know that you are stubborn as anything. So you know
Who
what?
won in Batman versus Bane? It was Batman.
All I'm going to say is that's very fun. I didn't even pick up on the fact that there was that.
We are fighting Batman v Bane.
But let me speak. I'm going to give this one to you. Let's hire.
I thought you were on my
Christian
side
Bale.
straight away. You seem to like.
I
Christian
like him,
Bale.
but I don't know whether he fits it as much as Tom Hardy. That's where I'm kind of in the standstill.
I think the opposite. Like I think he does.
But
Not
that's,
just 'cause
that's,
he's
that's
mine,
where
I
I'm willing
just-
to kind of adjust with you. So you know what?
I
I think
think Tom Hardy is more of a clean cut kind of guy.
let's give Christian Bale it. I think that's interesting.
Also, I wanted my Wolverine to embody that he's been around for hundreds of years. Or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Christian Bale's 100 years old.
Is old. But he can do
He's
that
been
kind
about-
of thing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he can definitely do Psycho, and he can unleash that and stuff. And like, you know,
American Psycho.
it's a fair point. I think the more I think about it, the more I can be like, yeah, lean to it. It'd be interesting to see what he does with it, because
Yeah.
he wouldn't be everybody's first pick, and it's one that I would have never thought
Would
of.
be
so
massive though.
It would
like
be interesting.
Tom Hardy would be cool.
It'd
Especially
be-
with the if you
yeah.
ignore the Venom thing because it wouldn't happen. 'cause of
Yeah,
Venom.
he is a fantastic actor. Though. If you
just
watch
because he's busy.
if you watch him in Peaky Blinders, honestly, like he
I haven't
can
seen
play
that,
a role.
but I should check it out.
Honestly, he's
But
fantastic.
that
in
Venom
that.
voice is bad. But
I just don't know.
Christian Bale would be mental. Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
Christian Bale would be
Batman
like,
is now playing Wolverine.
that would be a massive kick in the gonads to DC. DC have already
Well-
on the floor, and then Marvel just keep on kicking him. Yeah, let's do it. I think that'd be interesting. Front and center of the
And I
poster.
see him as like he can be a bit of a leading man.
Yeah.
He can also be a bit crazy. You know?
How strong's his chin? Has he got a strong chin? Like, because I know he was Batman.
He was
but
Batman, dude. He's got
Yeah, but-
Batman chin.
I'm just saying, like, I want to know how strong that chin is, like, for the Wolverine suit.
I mean,
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go Christian Bale. It'd be interesting. See what he
Okay,
does with it.
so on the screen we'll have like a ding.
Ding.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale.
Can you use that sort of soundbite? Ding.
Perfect. Excellent.
That's to me.
Yeah, go on then. I think I'll go with it. Yeah. Tom Hardy's busy. What was that film?
That's your excuse.
That's my reason. Sorry, Tom. I did argue for you. But yeah, let's go with it. Let's go
Wolverine,
Christian
dude.
Bale. Let's do it then. Yeah. So we'll have him
Have
in.
you heard that tape, that leaked tape of him on set?
Where he goes absolutely insane
Guy's a nutter.
on Terminator, was
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, it scared me a little bit.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
he's
let's
an
not bring
animal.
up Terminator because I want him to be a winner.
Dun, 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 dun. Right, so we're going to move on from there. Do you want to
Yeah.
move on? And
So
we'll go ahead and do
Professor X.
Charles Xavier, Professor X.
Oh, dude.
Go on, dude. Do you want to go first or do you want me? I'll go on, you go
It's my
first.
turn to go
I went first, yes, sorry.
My pick for Professor X.
Mm.
This might be controversial, but I think controversial. It's 2018.
All right, I'm going to have to believe that.
Andre Braugher
Andre Braugher.
from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Captain Holt.
Captain Holt.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm not that well up on this. Obviously, for you guys watching, if you are like, watching the visual and you're not just listening, we'll have pictures up of these guys. So describe what else he's been in. Do you know if he's been in anything? Okay, right.
You
Yes.
know him now.
Captain Holt.
Captain Holt. Captain
Okay.
Raymond Holt of the Brooklyn Nine-Nine
Okay,
precinct.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have seen
Andre
parts,
Braugher
but
is
yeah.
a massive, as far as I know, classical actor. He's been in.
He could definitely do the role.
You know,
He could definitely. It'd be interesting. Be interesting.
definitely.
Very, very interesting. I like the idea of it. I do. And he kind of plays that leader on Brooklyn
He's not
Nine-Nine.
British, which you pointed out to me. I kind of forgot that Professor X is meant to be British.
By the way, as well, speaking before these,
British.
we kind of mentioned a few, but we have no idea. Like, I didn't know your Wolverine picks.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know who you were going to pick for this. All you mentioned was that he was American. So, we haven't spoke about these. These are all, as you're hearing them, we're hearing each other's. So, yeah, I think it's an interesting pick. I like it.
Yeah, he's received 2 Golden Globe Award nominations and 10 Primetime Emmy Award nominations, winning 2.
Yeah.
So I'd argue we're going from Patrick Stewart. Oh, he did play Professor X, by the way.
Yeah.
I
And
think-
James McAvoy as well. Who
Oh
played
yeah, I've
him
got
most
Jason
recently.
McAvoy down too. We've got all the younger ones as well. I think he can fill the role.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I'm sure he can do a British accent. Also, you're talking about Wolverine being Canadian and his height and stuff.
I think it's just
Maybe people would care about this, but for me, I'm just thinking, I'm going past some of that, like race and height and stuff.
Of course, yeah, and I mean that's kind of.
I think this could be a fresh
X-Men. Yeah, it's kind of cool to do that and stuff. I think at the same time, though, I think what the most important thing is, like forget race and stuff, anything like that. I think it's good to kind of change it up, and like Nick Fury in the comics was white until Samuel L. Jackson came along, changed it and made
Just
that
break
role
those
like
rules.
literally since doing that, like in the comics he looks exactly like Samuel L. Jackson. Like the character has now become what has been made from the movies. So I think it's cool and it is important to kind of change it up. If a person's good enough, an actor's good enough to fill the role, definitely. And I think Andre's definitely got it in him to do it. I think I get where you're coming from, and I like it, and I think he feels it. But I'm gonna throw you my picks.
Okay.
Now my picks, I've got two.
Okay.
The one that I came up with first is going to be Mark Strong. Mark Strong from Kingsman.
Yeah, Kingsman. Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen
Kick-Ass.
He's from Kick-Ass. He's been in quite a few things.
I know Mark Strong.
The main thing that stood out to me was the voice.
Not because he's bald.
As well as he's bald, but I think he could definitely kind of fill that role. He's a little bit younger, so he would
a bit
be
young.
But the whole point is, what they're going to want to do is when Marvel take over, I kind of took this into mind when I was thinking about it. They're going to want to stretch these guys. These guys are going to want to be continuing for at least 10
Do you know
years.
how old he is?
I've not got it down, but I do believe that he is around the 50s. I think he's in his 50s.
So similar to Andre Braugher.
Yeah, early 50s and stuff. Andre Braugher, you got it up. He's 56. I think he probably is a similar age, Mark Strong. He's a bit of an interesting pick. Like I said, he's British. Obviously, that was like another thing that kind of went in with him. He's definitely done that leader role because back in what was it? It was in Kingsman. I can't remember what was the name of his character. Merlin. Yeah, is it Merlin? I
disagreed.
Yeah, I just didn't know. But yeah, I think he played Merlin, which was the guy that taught, and led them. When Colin Firth's character, was no longer about, he then took over and was like the head lead and stuff. He can definitely do it. The main thing for me is he's not had his big break, and I think he's been about for quite a while. He's not had that big role that he could fit into, and personally I think he definitely could. You've got him up on screen now. He's actually 55, so yeah, 1 year younger. He could do that lasting thing. I think for me he's the perfect fit. Like as a character, he seems to fit it, and like I said, his wage wouldn't be that much. It seems like a logical one.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'm saying for somebody like Patrick Stewart, they're going to want to get like a lower wage because the wage bill has to be low, and then work these actors into becoming superstars. Kind of what they did with a lot of the characters. Robert Downey Jr. was like a castaway. They kind of brought him back and brought him into being like one of the biggest guys in Hollywood. They're going to want to do that again with these X-Men characters. It's a massive potential money grab and to get all these characters right. So for me, Mark Strong is a perfect one. Another one that did come into my mind was in fact Ralph Fiennes.
Okay.
Ralph Fiennes, if you don't know, he's been in quite a few things. One of the main things that he's known for is in fact Harry Potter. He was in Harry Potter and played Voldemort, and so definitely he's played the villain, which is might come up. There's a little foreshadowing to where he might be.
He's 55 as well.
Yeah, you see, it's in there. It's in my head. But yeah, Ralph Fiennes is definitely a fantastic actor. Once again, British. He's bald, but it kind of came into it.
Is he bald?
He's got thin hair, and I don't think he'd be too against shaving it. But yeah, he's definitely played a bald character in Voldemort, so he's used to the bald characters. So I think it's something to look at. I think once again he kind of plays more of an evil character in the past, but there's definitely potential for him to kind of switch it up and show once again that he can be like the leader. He kind of fits it. I'm not arguing them that well, but I think for me personally on casting, this is somebody that
you've got to pick one.
I've got to pick one.
If we're going to debate,
right? Well, because Ralph Fiennes, there's a bit of foreshadowing somewhere else in the list. Potentially he might show his face again. So I'm not saying anywhere in particular, but I'm going to say Mark Strong. I'm going to put Mark Strong in.
Well, I think you should have gone with Ralph Fiennes.
No, I think Mark Strong. Honestly, I think he's not had his big break, and I think to be honest,
my issue with Mark Strong, and I maybe just haven't seen the right movie of a minute.
Go on.
Is whether he can do the emotional bits.
It's a fair point.
I've never seen him do that.
It is. But then
Not
again,
saying he can't.
That's the whole point.
I haven't seen it.
But then again, Holt is like Holt
is deadpan.
Holt is deadpan,
but can
you've
also
not seen emotion really.
Yeah, he's cried
like
in episodes.
An emotional character. One episode, Rhys. I'm saying, come on,
cried in several episodes.
This is like the idea that the character. It's not about him being emotional as such, all the time. It's going to be that leader. It's going to be that kind of.
But also that
strong
warmth. He's meant to welcome
definitely.
kids to his school.
But then again,
Mark Strong, I see, is like an action guy.
I get what you're saying, but then again, that's where he can.
Andrew Prowler,
he's being typecast.
Captain Holt looks after Jake
You're not listening.
Peralta.
He's being typecast. This is where we
They're
change
like
it
his
up.
X-Men of
This
Brooklyn.
is where we get Mark Strong in as the character. The guy.
I don't think that's
changed
typecast. I think Professor X needs to be a warm, welcoming figure.
Yeah, but then again, we've not seen it yet, so I think that's perfect opportunity. I think he's got it in him. I think he personally has. He's done comedy. He did comedy in Grimsby with Sacha Baron Cohen. So it was, he's up for diversity, changing it up, not sticking to the typical one. It was action, but then again, it is showing that there is a bit more of a different side to him. I think as an actor, I'm not sure how he's been trained, because like we said, we did kind of do this in one day, switched it up. So my knowledge on Mark Strong as an individual isn't that high, but I do think that he would fit the role personally for me. Being British is going to be a massive thing. And like I said, it's not as much race, but where they're from nationality-wise, it's kind of the point that like people like the idea that a character is, if you're a Canadian and you go in, one of the biggest like superheroes for a Canadian, would be like somebody like Deadpool, who is Canadian and stuff, being casted as Ryan Reynolds, and I said Ryan Gosling then. Ryan Reynolds is cast as that, and there was a big talk about, they were happy that he'd been casted, and it's not as much that it's needed, it's not an essential, but it's just kind of comfortable to kind of have somebody who is, trained, and obviously I think perfect for that would be...
If you'd gone with Ralph Fiennes, I would have given you it, I think.
Right, so we're going to have to go undecided and let the audience decide, because I'm not too sure. I just do want to stick with Mark Strong. When I
want to stick with Andrew Prowler.
Right, well, we're going to have to go undecided.
Diverse, it's a very new take on the character. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I get what
you're
you're saying, but...
Twitter's going to back you up.
I feel like you're being a bit rough. I feel like you're
no,
not
I'm
giving
not.
Mark
Honestly,
Strong.
if it was Ralph, I would have given you it.
Well, Ralph's not there.
I like Ralph Fiennes for it.
Do we get rid of them both and stick Ralph Fiennes in then?
No, you can't do that now.
Well, that's not what you're making rules up. I think we do that.
You drop Ralph Fiennes.
But I'm saying I dropped Ralph Fiennes because I believed in Mark Strong. But if you're saying you don't, and I'm saying I don't in yours, and we can both agree on Ralph Fiennes because Ralph Fiennes was one of my picks, then we'll stick him in. That's the whole point of having backups.
Diversity is dead.
Wow. Right.
No, we'll go with Ralph Fiennes, I guess.
I think, my whole point with Ralph Fiennes is that he's played a villain. I think he would have made a good Magneto, so I kind of put him in as Magneto.
Ah, okay. I had a similar thing with that.
So that's what I was going to do with him. So I thought he might fit in. So that's why I kind of wanted to hold him, because I think he would have fit that role better.
Yeah.
But if we can't decide on the two that we had, we'll stick in Ralph Fiennes. And if we kind of made the wrong decision, like I said, like I'm up for any three of them.
Because we did.
I'm up for any three of them, but personally I couldn't pick between Mark Strong and Andre Brower. Andre Brower. I couldn't pick between the two of them. Like I said, I've not seen enough of Andre Brower probably because I've seen him in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but that's everything. And I don't.
He was also in Fantastic Four: The Silver Surfer.
Wow,
which was a great movie.
Fantastic. They kept the franchise alive, dude.
So now you see, and now you're on my side, right?
Well, no, because he's already been in the Marvel Universe, so no.
So is Chris Evans.
That was Joe, obviously. That was Joe.
Uh-huh.
No. So yeah, I think we're gonna go with
Andre Brower.
Yep.
I guess fine.
Yep.
It's getting hot in here. It's getting heated.
Because Rhys being a turd.
Diversity is dead.
Rhys being a turd. Guys, you support me here.
Right.
It's just going to be Reese's. Right, guys, the list is all Reese's picks. I'll see you next week. I'll see you. But yeah, I think, speaking a bit more about Ray Fiennes, because we kind of knobbed him off a bit, didn't we? We kind of just spoke about ours. But like we said,
You knocked him off. He was one of your choices.
Yeah, but you told me I had to pick, and that wasn't a rule, was it?
Well, how are you going to debate two?
You was like, we have picks, we have choice.
How am I going to debate against two actors?
Because I think the idea is, it's not the idea of the debate, it's the idea of having choices about who's good for the role.
Yeah.
And I think, you can have somebody that I picked. Ray Fiennes was one that I kind of thought about afterwards, and I thought, oh, maybe he's a good one. So it wasn't my one that I researched. I've got research on Mark Strong, so I was like, what he'd been in for people.
Yeah,
Whereas Ray Fiennes, I was like, he's been Voldemort in Harry Potter. He's done tons more, but I didn't research it, so I felt a bit bad speaking about that.
True.
So I think the idea is just to have a backup and then be both speak about, debating, but kind of
I like Ralph Fiennes
best.
for it.
I think Ralph Fiennes is good, and I think both of the picks would have been good that we had, but we can't decide, as per usual.
True.
Episode 3's turned into episode 2.
Moving on, so we're not arguing again.
Right, let's go.
Next one is Cyclops, who originally was played by James Marsden,
Mm-hmm.
who's been in what's that other show called? Westworld.
Westworld.
And Ty Sheridan.
Is he Teddy? Is
Yeah.
he Teddy in Westworld?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
cowboy.
He's changed. I didn't know that.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, I feel like he's
And
changed.
Ty Sheridan, I think, was in Ready Player One,
Yes.
which is a good book, and
Yes.
the film was pretty good.
He was also in Whiplash.
Reese's Reviews. Was he?
No, I'm messing.
What are you on
I like how angry you get. You're like,
Why are you
no, he
confusing,
wasn't.
confusing our audience?
Honestly, there was
Confusing
anger
Eli Lopez.
lines across the forehead.
don't like
So yeah, because you went last time, I'll go with this one. It's going to be an interesting one. So basically, with me, I kind of casted the X-Men team. Not they're going to be the leader. I kind of kept Ray Fiennes, Charles Xavier at a different age. Like he's a bit younger if he's going to be casted as 50 compared to Patrick Stewart. But this age of the X-Men that I've gone with is kind of all similar. And the one that I've gone with is a controversial one. I kind of gone with an
Come on then.
Zac Efron, right? Zac Efron, I kind of want to cast him. Basically, my whole cast list is going to be people who aren't.
Everyone from High School Musical.
It's everybody from High School Musical. Vanessa Hudgens is in as Wolverine.
We're all in this together.
But I think I want to get Zac Efron in. He's kind of trying to forge a new career. He tried it out with a bit of comedy. He's in absolute rip shape. If you've seen the guy, he's perfect as the leader of X-Men. In High School Musical, he was the front runner. He's been the face of it. In Baywatch, he was. The movie didn't do that good. I didn't think it was as bad as the reviews were. But I think, in all honesty, he's rip shape. The visor's going to be on majority of the time through the whole
Then you
film.
can't see his cute eyes.
But that's not what we're going for. That chin line, I looked at the chiseled chin line, and honestly, guys, he's perfect for the vision of.
He's perfect.
He's perfect for the. He just loves Zac Efron. But as the vision of what you see, I nearly said Colossus, as Cyclops in the comics as, he is that, and I don't think he's had that front role where he can play the actor as. This is going to be an action film, innit? At the end of the day, the only person who
I thought it's going to be a rom-com.
it's going to be X-Men the rom-com.
Yeah.
I didn't see that much on it as well, to be honest. I think that's what kind of led me to it. I want to go for some pick that's perfect in my eyes, but not fully decided. I think he could lead the franchise. At the end of the day, in the comics, like you said, you didn't read that much, but in the comics, majority of the time, through different switches and storylines, he was the leader. He's going to be the guy who's the front runner. So he's 30 years old. He's young. He's got a bit of time in him to become the role. He's kind of not been typecast as anything because how he looks and his shape that he is now is completely different to what he's synonymous with, which is High School Musical. Bit embarrassing, but it shows that he's kind of willing to develop doing something like Baywatch, which is a bit different to what he would have normally done. He's got in good shape, and I don't think he's fully been tested on his acting. I can't think of a movie where he's fully tried to show fully where he can go. But I think this is kind of be a good lead in getting in there and trying it out as Scott Summers. So Scott Summers is where I'm going to go, and I'm going to pick Zac Efron at 30 years old. I think he might be a good pick.
He was good in 17 again. I like that.
17 again was a film.
Good film. I like that film.
All right. Who's your pick,
My
Steve?
much better pick is Taron Egerton.
Wow.
Taron Egerton.
Taron Egerton. I researched him for a different role, so yeah. Do you want to say what he's in?
Awkward. I can't remember. He's in Kingsman. He's the lead of Kingsman.
Yeah. I believe he's
Kingsman.
in the new...
X-Men.
Oh, wow. Pick him.
Sold.
We picked him. He's also in the new Robin Hood, I believe, as well. So.
Well, moving on from that.
But the new Robin Hood film, he is, I believe, going to be Robin Hood.
Exactly. He's a leading man.
He can do it.
What's Zac Efron leading?
Definitely. You know what? I actually researched him. I'm not going to lie for this role, but I did look about. I've not got him on my list. I looked at him for different roles on the list, but could do it. Could do it. I agree.
Yeah. What do I have to say about him? Yeah, he's been in Kingsman. His lead role in Kingsman, and in that they're in a training facility with all the young adults training. He's charming. He's got the jaw.
Do you know how old he is? He looks young, but I don't know how old he is.
This is welcome to Google Cast episode 1.
Yeah, thank you, Google. But yeah, I think it's a decent pick. Definitely.
He's 28.
He's 28. He's older than he looks. He's older than he looks, though.
That's good.
Yeah, it
he
is.
Looks younger.
Yeah. I agree with that. Can he do an American accent? No, I've not heard him do an American accent, but is there anything that he's been in that we could kind of think? I don't know.
I'm gonna say yes, you can, 100%.
All right then, yes, we'll pick him. No, I don't know. Personally, for me, he's got it. He can definitely be a leading man. 2 good picks, if I'm being honest. I like him. I love Kingsman. I think fantastic films.
I feel like it's any day now until he becomes part of the Marvel or something.
Yeah.
Going off, like, he's been in some big films as a leading man.
I can agree to that.
I feel like he's going to get picked up for something soon.
It's whether he could do that American accent, and it is going to be wanted from him. I'm not saying, like, he has to, but he has got quite a distinct British accent when you hear him speak.
So do all British people, though. Most of the actors.
Nice analysis there, Rhys.
a lot of actors in these superhero movies are British.
Yeah,
but they do American accents.
Yeah, but like we said, it can't always come off. Tom Hardy, you mentioned at the beginning, didn't do the best. So if we've seen him tested as that, it'd be quite interesting. He also did Eddie the Eagle film with Hugh Jackman, so he's already worked with the X-Men.
Yeah.
So yeah, quite interesting in that sense. I'm still feeling Zac Efron. No, I'm not doing it, but I am feeling it because I feel like
he's like too recognisable as Zac Efron.
But that's the whole point. Kind of break the typecast. Kind of, he's not.
I also think, I don't know.
It's not that recognisable because he has completely changed. If you look at the shape he's in, he is completely different.
His face, though, I just mean.
Well, it'd be covered up by a visor, so it's not really a kind of fair argument that.
Yeah.
In the comics, like that never comes off.
Yeah, exactly.
Due to his powers. Yeah. So I think that's kind of unfair criticism that he's like I said, I've not seen him emotional. I think your pick is definitely
a better actor.
On the emotional and on the actor and on the kind of side could be better, but for the fit of the character himself, I don't know.
You don't think he's fit? You don't think he could pull off the physicality?
No, for the fit of the character, for not the fitness.
What do you mean?
To fit the character, who I see as the character personally, who fits it more, who is the role more, who is Cyclops. When it comes to me, if I had to pick, I'm feeling more Zac Efron, and like I said, I know if there's people watching, they might be like, he's not been as I
just see him. He's
developed.
In some small movies. He's alright.
But then
I
again,
see him as a comical character nowadays.
But this will be his big break.
He's really good at being funny.
But that's the whole point. Not every actor.
Seth Rogen
you look at somebody like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's done a lot of comedic films, but then he does change it up, and he has done the more dramatic film.
I just like Cyclops as a serious, strong man.
Taking away from the point as what it is, that he could potentially feel like we don't know until he's done it, because he's done more comedic films and he's done High School Musical. Yeah. But that's what the whole thing is.
I know.
Guys,
I just don't know how we argue this.
I don't know.
I don't know whether to
it. No, because the whole point is to pick them. We've got to kind of pick them. These are our picks. Maybe people have better picks, but potentially Zach or Taron. It all comes down to whether he could fill the role. Go on, I'll give it Taron. Yeah, go on.
I just see him as less of a recognisable name.
Don't carry on arguing it when I've just agreed with you. Let's go with it.
Taron.
Let's do it. Let's pick him. If you guys disagree, let us know. You might completely disagree and pick your own.
Yeah, just write your own in the thing and we'll ignore it.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't ignore it.
Rhys will.
We'll read
it. No, you're wrong.
We'll read it next episode.
Yeah, I think that's something cool that we can do. Yeah. So, moving on from there,
next character,
we're going to come to Storm. Storm's going to be the next character.
Who was played by Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. Ooh.
Oops. Ooh. And Alexandra Shipp.
Alexandra Shipp, who is in the newer films as the younger Storm.
Yes.
Was her first film the Apocalypse film? Or was she in previous? I saw her in the...
I think so, yeah. Didn't she come in the Apocalypse?
Because she came in as a horseman, but I didn't know whether she'd been.
I think it was that. I think so. I don't think she was in the First Class.
I can't remember. Like I said, I kind of fell out with the films when they started getting to that stage a bit. Like I said, but I have seen Days of Future Past, and I don't remember her in it. She could have been.
I don't think she is. No, Halle Berry's in it.
Yeah, but
old Halle Berry.
Is it? I know they have the old Halle Berry, but but they have it at the beginning. Do you know where they go inside Wolverine's head?
Yeah.
And I don't know whether she's with Bishop
she's one of
fighting
them there.
off.
I think I think they use different mutants.
Interesting.
Because I don't think it would make sense if she was there that age either. No, it wouldn't. No, because Halle Berry turns up there.
So is it when Halle Berry as Storm in that film?
Yeah, that's the future, isn't it? Remember?
Okay, okay. Yeah, sorry, my mistake, yeah. I was trying to think, because I knew Bishop was there, but you don't really get to see him because the Sentinels are attacking.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think,
it's a cool scene.
pretty intense scene.
Yeah.
Not the best film though.
It's alright. Yeah,
Wasn't the worst. Not the best though. But yeah. So who have you got down as your picks, Rhys?
I've got Laverne Cox
Laverne Cox. Not too sure on the name. Gonna have to
from
give me a
Orange is the
Google
New
search
Black.
on that. Okay. Not aware with her work. Not.
Seen Orange is the New Black.
Okay.
Strong leading character. Yeah, she's openly transgender,
Okay.
which I don't think really affects it at all.
No.
Just informing you.
Yeah. Where's she from?
She's
from Alabama. Yeah.
Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah. She's American. I don't know if is Storm American.
Uh,
Halle Berry's accent was all over the place.
In the comics, I believe she does originate from Africa, but I
Yeah.
think I'm not sure on the length that she's lived over in America. But I know that she speaks English. But whether that is with an American accent or with an African accent, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Um,
because she's connected to Black Panther. In the
She
comics.
is. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Very cool.
That'd be very interesting.
Very cool.
I forgot about that when I was thinking about this actually.
How old is she again? Does you know their age?
Is...
Does say here that the birth year is unknown.
Doesn't say.
Yeah, it says the 29th of May, but the birth year is unknown. So, not too sure on her age, but how is she in Orange is the New Black? What character
really
does she
good.
play?
Does all kind of emotions. Happy, strong, sad, like everything. Honestly, gets like people attacking her and stuff. And I haven't watched it in a while, but that show is full of every range of emotion. Like every actress and actor in that show gets to go through everything. Like, yeah,
Fair enough. I've got 2 picks for these, so I'm going to throw them out. Like we said, we can kind of debate it because the more options, we can kind of pick them up a bit more. I think it's better to do it that way. I've actually got Keke Palmer. No, Keke Palmer spelled Keke. She's a smaller actress. She's actually a singer turned actress. She's done quite a bit of music, so that's your soundtrack for the film covered. But she's actually done Grease Live. She's jumped into acting, and I've heard from what I've seen online when I looked in like a few articles about her. I believe that she has already been recommended for the role. She's young. She's 24 years old, and like I said, I know that what they will be looking for is a kind of lesser developed actor or actress, on like the blockbuster scale, to come in and take the role and go far with it. But like I said, from what I heard about her performances on, I believe the series that she's in is actually Scream Queens. I think I looked into it, and apparently she's one of the like main actresses that was pulled out, as a star, like as a fantastic for playing a role. Like I said, I can't be too sure, but from what I've seen, she seems to fit the role. A lot of people were suggesting her and stuff. She's young. Like I said, the main thing is that she's young and she can develop with the role. She comes from African American descent, so she could definitely portray that role and well. But there is actually somebody else that I kind of feel like was more around the age of Zac Efron. Somebody that's 30 years old.
We're not going with Zac Efron.
But I'm saying this when I was building mine.
Okay.
But the person who was around, still similar age to Taryn, who we picked, 28 years old. It's an interesting one. She's not been in the best of films, but we all know her. It's actually Rihanna. Now, Rihanna would be an interesting pick, and I have actually heard people suggest it. She's 30 years old. She was in Battleship. It was kind of an off movie. It wasn't the best film. But her portrayal, in it wasn't the worst. She fit the role. For her to do Storm, potentially, interesting. It's more to the point of the star cast that they're going to be bringing in. Rihanna's definitely somebody who would pull in a lot of people. She's kind of established as a persona in and of itself. I think she could fit the role. In all honesty, she's not done the most advanced roles, but if they're going to get her in the MCU, it's kind of they're going to craft the actor and actress to what they want. They know what they want. It's kind of that's where I'm kind of struggling looking on what they've done, because it's like I can in parts I'm like kind of criticising what Tom Hardy's done, and we both did and stuff in places, but when they get into the MCU, those guys are going to craft them exactly how, and they're going to get as much acting coaches on that they need to, and dialect coaches, so this whole person that goes in could come out as a totally different person. That's why it's kind of hard to pick it. But I think those are my 2 picks. I like Keke Palmer. I think she's young. I think she's got a lot of talent, and she could go places. 24 years old, quite young. She would be younger than a lot of them. She's That's the issue that I have with her age. She's a little bit younger. Rihanna, though, personally, she's not the one that you would pick, but I think she potentially, with a bit of craft, a bit of work, could fill that role. But I do like the idea of being diverse.
Yeah.
And I do like the idea of...
I didn't pick her to be diverse, but it is important to be diverse.
I think it's something that, they will be looking at.
I've just seen Orange is the New Black. I thought she was good on that.
Yeah.
I don't know who Keke Palmer is, but I'd rather her than Rihanna any day.
To be honest...
With no knowledge of her performance.
Before research... I didn't know who Keke Palmer was either. Okay. But, from what I looked up, and I looked up a few articles, I'm not going to lie, I looked up, and kind of got inspiration from what people were saying.
I did the same, yeah.
That's all you can really do.
There's so many actors and actresses out there.
Yeah.
You'd be there all day trying to work out who you
would.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of... Like I said... I know you're jumping on like Rihanna and stuff, and she's not the best actress, but it is somebody more who would be pulling in a lot of faces.
I don't think that's what Marvel. Personally, I don't think that's what Marvel do.
But yes,
I think they'd rather have someone who's never been heard.
I get what you're saying, but it's with this new X-Men franchise. It's what they've done in the past with Avengers, but they weren't coming off a whole franchise that had been built up. They're coming off X-Men that has been built up. They're going to have to kind of basically cut and then start fresh again. They want to kind of. It's not. You can't look back to what they've done in the past, how they casted Avengers, as what they want to do. They're kind of going to go and do their own route with whatever they kind of pick to do. If that makes sense.
I think Rihanna's an awful start to an X-Men franchise, honestly.
It is,
personally.
On paper,
on paper. It is in reality.
But let's think about where
she's in battleships, dude.
Yeah, that's the problem, though. You're looking at a film that is one person.
That other bad movie. What was it? The space one.
Valerian.
Yeah, she's in that.
She's
like
also
a CGI character.
She's also in the new Ocean's 8 film. No, she plays an interesting character in that.
I've not seen that, but
she's kind of the tech gadget character in that.
But I'll give you your Keke person just to stop Rihanna.
But it's not a matter of giving somebody it. You're doing that to shut down Rihanna, and it's kind of you're shutting down discussion.
Honestly, I'm against Rihanna, like so much. I think.
As a person or
Marvel
as an actress?
Is serious as an actress.
I didn't know.
I don't know about a person. I don't know her personally. I like her music.
She's been in like 3 films, and like I said, I don't know whether it's enough to kind of go from on an acting sense. And she's definitely a persona that is dividable.
I just think Marvel would rather have serious actors in there, and maybe
a hard pick.
Not heard of. Not unheard of is cool. Like that, where they can develop them themselves and. Rihanna, I think it wouldn't be good. I think people would be angry about that.
Yeah.
Some people would be happy, but I think a lot of people would be like, "Why are you taking a storm as a joke?" I heard a lot of people didn't like Halle Berry because her accent went all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then again, isn't Rihanna from? I don't know whether she's originally American.
She's done some acting, but she's not an actress
yet.
Yet. I don't want to rest the whole franchise of. The X-Men movie in Storm, who's like an important character.
Yeah.
We've got this great movie Black Panther, which is going to be connected to.
You're kind of going to be
Rihanna walking into Wakanda.
Yeah. Well, obviously, we're not directors, and we're not going to be the guys who are final picking. These are just our picks. I get what you're saying. You would have to go and see her, on a script test. I mean, this is
a debate, right?
Yeah, it's 100% a debate, and you're bringing up valid points.
You want my opinion to yours. I'm being nice this week. So I'm just saying, Rihanna is 100% a no-go for me.
Yeah, no, I get that. I
get why you brought her up. I agree, she's like pop.
That's you being nice, completely shutting down somebody out of it.
Nicely telling you to,
jeez,
scrap it. I just
bloody hell. Okay then, who was your pick? What was her name again?
Cox from Orange is the New Black.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I've seen Rihanna act. It's not been the best in the past. Keke Palmer is somebody who I researched and heard other people recommend. Your pick being somebody that we've actually seen act, on your side of stuff, me not personally, but you know what her acting capabilities are.
And I think she's won some awards.
She won some awards, but on the stance that you've actually seen her act, I feel like it'd be wrong for us to pick somebody who we've not seen directly act in something that we've seen.
Nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award.
Okay then.
Sorry, what were you saying?
No, right, it's fine.
No, what
it's not a podcast between the two of us, you son of a gun.
Sorry, carry on.
No, I think let's go with Laverne.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because you've seen her, I'm going to go from your judgment. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, Keke Palmer, a bit too young, and personally, I haven't seen her act. I'd be going off other people's judgment. And I fully get what you're saying. Rihanna hasn't been in the best stuff. The reason why I picked her is she worked for the age of the cast that I was going for, and also I feel like she could be crafted into something.
Yeah.
Rather than looking at her past roles as what she is.
I get what you're saying and I see like I can see this working as well, where you want all your like X-Men to be the similar age.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I agree with it in what I can see one iteration of it making sense. But
more to the point, I see that's the way they're gonna go. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe, but
That's
yeah,
kind of
in
the
my
restriction.
fantasy version, just to explain, because before we go through the rest of them,
Yeah.
I see mine as being all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
like different ages, different, whatever, like just, and because I see the X-Men as being able to be this like ragtag like collection of these people who are kind of scared and lost, and they've got these powers they don't understand, and
I get that.
yeah,
It doesn't.
and Professor X has looked after them in a sense.
The
They're not
issue
the
that-
Avengers where they're like
yeah.
all powerful and strong
Yeah.
at the start.
The issue that comes into it is the whole point that it's kind of like a school. Where I kind of went is I went similar age group because in parts they might be a bit younger, but a lot of the characters that I've gone with are kind of a similar age because it's like they've grown up together as that unit of the X-Men. The X-Men is like more of a mantle that gets passed on, but the idea is these guys are the section that are the group from the
group
comics
that goes out
So
and fights.
This is the guys
Yeah.
that we know from the comics. So I stuck them to a similar age, kind of mending to that point that when these guys pass on, there will be a new X-Men. And those guys, like the new X-Men, I don't know whether you've read the comics and stuff from them, but like, completely different superheroes that moved on after the X-Men that we know, people would know from comics and, series. So that's my reason. I like your idea of the ragtag bunch and stuff. It's a way of going with it.
You could even have the different age range growing up.
There is different
they've
age
been
ranges
together
in
for
mine.
several years.
Yeah, there is different age ranges in mine,
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
They're a family, it doesn't matter
Yeah,
who
yeah.
they are, kind of
But
thing.
moving on from there, we're going to move on to...
Jean Grey, who I looked up because I was researching this a little bit, and I was like, why is she called Jean Grey and everyone else has an X-Men name?
Mhm.
And I looked it up. Her X-Men name was Marvel Girl, which sucks. So I see why they just call her Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, this is so silly. She's just called her name.
Yeah.
I know the X-Men aren't heroes in the sense of they go out and save people and they've got a secret identity or whatever. But
Yeah.
this is why she called her name. She just didn't come up with anything. But yeah, she was Marvel Girl and then Phoenix at times.
I think, I'm not sure whether that was around about the time that they cast Captain Marvel as Carol Danvers. That might have had something to do with it as well.
That was still a bit silly to me.
Because they had her as
It's
Miss
Marvel
Marvel.
Comics. Why you got two characters that have got Marvel in their name?
There's a lot more with Marvel in the name.
Yeah.
There's a ton more with
I'd
Marvel.
say they're all a bit silly.
But the point is, like, Captain Marvel, I don't know whether that came about around about the same time. I don't think it did, because I know that the original issue, which I think Jean Grey was in, was 1963.
Yeah.
And that was issue number 1 of the X-Men. Now, I'm not sure whether past X-Men had shown up in other comics. But yeah, so...
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I just thought it was funny. I
Yeah,
put lol.
it's interesting. LOL, you did, on paper I see LOL.
Yeah.
But do you want to go with it?
Am I go first?
No, sorry, it is me. Sorry, because you introduced the character, so yeah, I'll go. My pick is actually Amber Heard.
Amber Heard.
Amber Heard. Yeah,
It's got a D in it.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was saying the D.
her.
Heard.
Heard.
That's the accent. Heard.
Okay.
Yeah, Amber Heard. I'll pronounce the D. Amber Heard. Da, 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 da. Now, we did speak about this one because you saw who I'd wrote down beforehand. You mentioned that she is in fact in DC.
Yeah.
You mentioned that she is in the new Aquaman.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, but like I said, these are fantasy picks. These
Yeah.
are people that fit the role best, in my opinion.
I think we should be able to talk about it completely fantasy,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
rules, but
Mhm.
also then we can get into the element of if we are getting a bit more realistic, like
Yeah.
if we argue too much, we could say like, well, she is in DC, so if we are realistically talking about it,
Yeah.
in a sense, which we kind of are, we're trying to see how it's
We
fit in
are.
the real world.
Yeah.
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 If we're just making up, if we're too fantastical, there could be anyone playing it. You know what I mean? So,
Yep, I get you.
Yeah.
But Amber Heard is going to be my pick for Jean Grey.
Okay.
I know she's in Aquaman, but I kind of put that aside. The idea that it's not unheard of that crossover has been done.
No.
Actors have jumped over and stuff in between beforehand. But the main reason why I picked this is one film, and I think it's going to be London Fields.
Okay.
Now the idea is in that she plays this twisted female character. She's the lead protagonist, And she's basically got about 3 different guys on the run, like after her, and she knows how to seduce them in different ways. In the comics, this is a massive thing about Jean Grey. Her seduction of, like, you know, the love triangle between Wolverine and Cyclops. Originally, she's with Cyclops, but when Wolverine comes along,
is that in the comics?
Triangle. It was in the comics, I believe.
I thought it was just from the movies.
I'm pretty sure that it was in the comics.
I believe you.
But it's like this kind of like this. In the comics, you know, the movies struggled a bit with it because, you know, I never felt like Cyclops was the leader. It pretty much, and I think the movies jumped onto Wolverine, you know, being the lead guy. And in the comics, that was never the case. He was more of like, you know, the grumpy guy with a cigar and shouting "Bob" and stuff. So it's kind of the idea that with her, I know that she's played a twisted, you know, seductive kind of character before that, you know, can definitely, when you go to the Dark Phoenix side of it, which is kind of going on at the moment, but, you know, I don't know how I feel with Sansa
We're ignoring
doing that.
that.
Yeah, forget Sansa doing that. But for the time being, it's... I don't know. Personally, for me, I think she's definitely got it in her, and I didn't see that with many other actresses that I looked up. Emma Stone was one that I looked at, and I thought, I don't know whether she could do that dark side. That is the main thing for me, because in the comics, that was a massive thing. People love that, like how she turns and she becomes like Omega level mutant. It was a huge, huge thing for people in the comics, and to get that right is one of the most important things, and that's what I worry about with the upcoming X-Men film. I don't know whether she's got it in her. I forget the name of the actress. I keep calling her Sansa from Game of Thrones. But yeah, I think Amber has definitely got it in her as an actress. I've seen it, and I know that she could definitely do it. The only issue that we come up to is the point that she is an Aquaman. That could be, for me personally, I think that is the only issue that we could come to. She's 32 years old, so with my scripting of everybody being a similar age, she fits into that, being around about that. But I'm going to jump over to you.
Yeah, my issue, I don't know. I have not seen London Fields, to be fair. The things I have seen her in, I think I've seen Drive Angry. It's from what I don't know, this is probably based off nothing, but I always thought she wasn't that great of an actress, but I can't think of too many examples.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, in my mind, I don't see her as someone with that
much
much
example
depth.
that she's my pick? Because all my actors and actresses are bad actors.
What?
Zac Efron and Rihanna. It's an odd X-Men. It's an odd X-Men, but I feel like it could have worked.
Not the best actor. Yeah.
Go on.
Mine.
Your pick.
Is Ruth Wilson.
Ruth Wilson, okay.
Who, if you've seen Luther, right now you're agreeing with me.
Right.
People in the comments agree with me. Ruth Wilson, yeah. She's in Luther, basically. So I might have to spoil Luther a bit for you, and anyone listening, I might have to spoil Luther. But
is there no way of doing it without?
Not really.
I do want to watch Luther, and I haven't got round to it.
Well, she plays a very seductive character, I guess I'd say, as well.
Okay.
She can in one episode of Luther, you can see how she can play a very, like, innocent character who's very emotionally distraught, but then can also flip to essentially a villain. I'm trying not to spoil Luther, but it's going to be a little bit. I'm not specifically spoiling Luther, but yeah, and she's very she can be very devious. I think she could play especially the Phoenix part very well.
I think that's the most important thing, that, you know, she can play, you know, nice Jean Grey, but to switch to that is going to be a huge part.
And I think playing nice Jean Grey is quite easy. I think most people
I get what you're saying. I know that
she can be very, very dark, very kind of still like sensual but still evil at the same time.
Okay.
She can do very heinous kind of things and you're still on her side.
Yeah.
Not saying so it's hard. If you've seen Luther, I think you'd agree with me straight away.
Okay.
So maybe you watch it and then next week we'll mention it again. Probably not.
Yeah.
Or next week. We keep putting this out within the same week. She's been in quite a few shows. I think she could be picked up for a movie.
Okay.
She's done lots of TV. She's done a few movies actually. Saving Mr. Banks, Lone Ranger. Yeah.
Saving Mr. Banks, the one about Mary Poppins, Disney.
I think so.
Yeah, how they made Mary Poppins.
Not seeing it, I'm just reading off Google.
Oh, right, okay, never mind. I have seen The Lone Ranger, that's up there. I don't remember her in that.
Okay.
But that wasn't the best film, so I'm not going to judge her.
Mainly going off Luther, honestly. Most of my choices, are based off one show.
Yeah.
Where I think they're good. Yeah. This might be a hard one since you don't know Ruth Wilson.
For me, Cyclops and her, seeing the pictures of her, she's 36 and stuff, him being 28, is that too much of an age gap for me to kind of believe it?
I don't think so. They're both very
Right, you won't, 'cause it's your
good-looking.
pick.
Well, they're both. I knew you
Personally.
were going to say this. They're both very good-looking young people. Also, I want a diverse, interesting X-Men.
That's your
if she's
pick, though.
10 years older than him.
It's
that's-
about us deciding as a team.
Yeah, but I'm explaining my point.
But it's us deciding as a team, and I
I'm
don't
just
know whether I can
Giving
see
you
it.
my point to try and convince you.
Go on then.
In my diverse X-Men, where it's all different ages, and they're all kind of a bit, they're all kind of a bit messed up in the head a little bit, like they've been through rough times and stuff. It could be interesting if our younger Cyclops meets an older Jean Grey and he falls for her, and that's more interesting to me than they're both exactly the same age. They're both cookie cutter,
It would be, and I get what you're saying.
And then it
but
can become a bit more dark when she does turn into the Phoenix, and he's kind of upset, and she's like, "Oh, you're just a young boy," whatever. That's not going to be actual dialogue.
it's an
from the
odd
film.
one to go with. I don't know whether I can go with it. I like your pick, and to be honest, I believe you that you could do it well. I personally think, as a pair up though, I am going to have to go with my pick. I think I get what you're saying, and like I said, the issue that I have is I've not seen her. And I'm sure she could do it.
I think they can both pair up well with.
I think that age gap.
That's a weak
though,
argument.
It is, but then the whole point is it's going to be Marvel. It's going to be MCU. It's going to be owned by Disney. They're going to want it.
It could still be a bit
If there's
dark.
that big age gap, it's kind of something that I feel like would be an issue. I'm being honest. Like that, for me, it's going to be a big thing. The age gap of 28 to 36.
I don't think that is an age gap when you're 28 and 36.
But it is a big age gap between. It's my main argument. I'm going to say main argument.
I think it's a weak ass argument.
Well, the main argument on top of that is going to be that I've not seen her, and that's
a better
that's an
argument.
issue. That's an issue though. Amber Heard, I do feel like fits it better.
Famke Janssen, who played Jean Grey before, is 53, and James Marden's 44. But you believe them, Joe?
It's a fair argument. Fair counterpoint.
Boom, counted. Bitch.
Right, you're googling as we're going. This is kind of unfair. I have no computer, and you're just googling.
I'm just saying.
I get what
I
you're
was
saying.
only googling
But then
the
they were on
images
by
of them,
Fox.
so me and you could see
They're
them
on
as
by
we're
Fox.
talking about them.
Is that the way that Marvel will go? That's what we're
I
trying
don't
to
think Marvel cares about age differences.
To be honest,
I think Marvel could do with some diverse age and diversity in their X-Men.
I get
think
that.
it should be a. I'm
But
not saying it's going to be a good
But we have got
relationship.
diversity so far. We've not gone like cookie cutter. Like what we have so far is kind of something that is a bit different, and I kind of like where we're crafting.
Yeah.
But personally, I think the chemistry would work a little bit more. Amber Heard as well. She's going to be the lead in Aquaman, so I guess we can only see how she does in that. We don't know how it's going to be as a film.
I think it's weird to talk about their chemistry when we've never seen any of them together. I'm not.
It is, but that's what's going to be a big factor. And
Yeah, but we
is it
don't know
gonna
that
work?
for either of them.
That's the issue.
We don't know the chemistry for either of them with Cyclops.
I'm mulling on these points. I'm not saying this is a definitive thing
okay.
like chemistry. I'm kind of mulling on it. Will it work? Is
But you
chemistry?
agree I counted the age thing?
Yeah, because you had Google. I'm not going to lie. If you have Google, Google is going to help you. I have literally nothing. I have a piece of paper, so I can make a paper aeroplane. Well, that's about it.
Chug it at me.
I don't know where to go with this.
I just think if you'd seen Luther, if I could pause the podcast and show you all of or one episode of Luther.
Right, guys, we'll be back
Right, see you in a minute.
we'll be back in a week.
You watch it in quicker than a week, dude.
Okay, then.
It's a good show.
All right, let's go with it then. Let's go with it. Yeah.
Are you
Guys,
sure?
this is Reese's podcast. Reese's X-Men.
picked-
We'll see you next week.
How
No, I agree with
We
you.
picked yours?
I think that pick one of mine.
Is it just one?
My one X-Man.
Well, you can have the
It's
rest.
Joe's X-Man. Da, 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 da. That was the wrong tune. So yeah, let's pick it.
Why are you making me
it's-
feel bad?
No. I'm messing with you. I'm joking with you. I think it's the argument. I don't like arguing. That's my issue. I just.
It's a debate.
But the thing is, if we debate, you're always going to win because I'm like, I don't want to argue. It's getting too much. We'll just pick you. But I think, like I said, I've not seen Luther. That's my own issue. You have seen Amber Heard in stuff and you didn't believe with it. You've not seen London Fields, which is kind of what I had as my basis for where she was going. But yeah, go on, man. We'll pick your actress under the name of
Ruth Wilson.
Ruth Wilson.
Dude, trust me, once you've seen Luther, you'll be like,
I'm sure I will.
guys, I was wrong.
Right, you go watch London Fields. I'll go on and then we'll do this again next
Yeah,
week.
we'll do this again.
Part
Part 2.
So yeah, we've already got to an hour. Do we carry on?
I say we carry on. Let's just
do you want to carry on? Let's carry on. So we've actually hit the hour mark. I've only just seen, but yeah.
If you're still with us, let us know how you think it's going.
Okay.
Subscribe.
Okay.
So Magneto, he
Yep.
was played by Ian McKellen and Michael Fassbender in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going first on this one, yeah?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on.
I don't know how you're going to beat mine. And I think this will be massive. Magneto will be Bryan Cranston.
I've heard this one.
Have you?
I've heard this one.
I just came up with this.
I have heard this one before. I can't remember what YouTube channel it was, but I've seen this being spoken.
A few of them on my list. I looked up like who do people think might play it, and this one was all me. Just so you know.
No. By all means, I believe you.
I
think you've been truthful.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston as a villain, we know.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Is the villain.
Malcolm in the Middle, biggest villain in that.
Yeah, biggest villain.
Horrible.
Killed all of them at the end.
Godzilla, big villain. No,
I
think
movie was the villain.
You know what? I think I've watched all of Breaking Bad, and I can agree with you.
And he can do.
It'd be big.
Yeah, and he can do like. He can be a villain where you agree, like you're on his side.
That's a massive part. Yeah,
and my favourite bit of kind of all of the X-Men recently was with Michael Fassbender, whichever one it was, where he went and had a family.
Mm-hmm.
He had a daughter and a wife, but he got discovered as being a mutant again.
Yeah.
And they killed his family in front of him.
Yeah.
And he just went mental on him. I'm gonna watch that scene again. Honestly, like that's a good scene. And yeah, I feel like he could do that. You could see because I like the Professor X is like we should do this about being mutants. And, Magneto is like we should do this about being mutants.
Yeah.
Like, but they're both coming from the same problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's. Yeah,
Bryan Cranston is a fantastic pick.
Just before,
could definitely go against Ralph
I
Fiennes.
do kind of have two against this.
Go on.
I also wrote down, and I think he could do Professor X as well. I know we're done with that. I'm not saying we go back to that. Peter Capaldi.
Peter Capaldi is an interesting pick.
From Doctor Who, from the thick of it, where he's essentially a villain in that.
Yes.
But he can do dark.
Yeah.
He can do funny.
Mm-hmm.
He can swear it. But
He's
I know
free.
Marvel's not going to swear.
He's free now.
He's just finished from Doctor Who.
Just finished.
He can do the science and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, he was just kind of I think I'd rather have Bryan Cranston.
I think it's just because I feel like I'm being too indie with it. But you know what? I like Peter Capaldi as well. Like Peter Capaldi's got me a bit.
Well, yeah.
But I love Bryan Cranston. I'm not gonna lie. I think Bryan Cranston's a fantastic pick.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely got it in him. If you've seen Breaking Bad, you can't deny it.
Yeah. Just imagine what's he called in Breaking Bad?
Walter White.
Walter White. Imagine
Yes.
Walter White with Magneto's powers, making meth.
What I liked about him though
With
is,
his
like
mind.
you said, you saw his sinking into becoming
Yeah.
Heisenberg, and that was the massive part of him becoming the character. So if they ever did, Magneto Origins, I know you'd only kind of have him for the older part, but to show how his past has affected him,
Yeah.
he could definitely play that off.
I wrote down a bit of a plot, but in my imaginary plot for this scenario, I want Magneto to be with the X-Men at first, and he's trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And then some stuff happens where he's like, right, we need to fight back. We need to attack these humans.
Yeah.
And then that's when we see
divide.
the split.
Similar to what happened in the more recent ones.
Yeah.
I forget the name of them, but is it First Stance? Is it First Stance?
First Class.
First Class.
Yeah.
I'm saying First Stance. Why have I got Stance in my head when it comes to X-Men? So
I think if we've got Ralph Fiennes, I know we haven't picked Magneto yet.
Yeah.
And we've got on Magneto. I see him as being chums, but then something happens where it changes. It draws a line, and we see their morals split.
Ralph Fiennes definitely fits to both Peter Capaldi and Bryan Cranston as a counterpart opposite them. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it would work. I'm going to just chuck mine in. I know that you've seen all of this series, which this guy's in. I like him as a pick, but the problem I've got is all three of these kind of work. Bryan Cranston more against this guy. My pick is going to be Charles Dance, who is Tywin Lannister. Tywin Lannister as Magneto.
That's a good choice.
Tywin Lannister.
He
plays evil so well.
He does.
And that's where we're going to be going with it. If in my head, Magneto's
Evil.
already pre-villain. I see with your plot, you were kind of crafting him into it. So it's
I don't think he works for my version where we see him as a
that's
bit good.
that's what I'm saying. With your version, Bryan Cranston works as that. If you're going with the idea that he is villain and he's already villain by this point,
Yeah.
This is where we're kind of going to get stuck with the Charles Dance. Are we kind of sidelining it? I don't want to rule him out, but Peter Capaldi kind of put him off a bit. He does angry well. I've seen that.
Just very angry. And he's funny angry.
Yeah. So we kind of put him off just to the side for now, and the emotional side of the character. So if we just kind of... And I also have Ralph Fiennes down for this, but he's took our Professor X role.
Yeah.
So we'll just... I had him down as an honourable mention.
We could swap Andre Braugher in if you want.
If we want to.
I still think it'd be dope.
But I think for me, Charles Dance or Bryan Cranston, this is so hard because I like them both. Oof. Like we said, Charles Dance does evil. He does it well. If you've seen Game of Thrones, you know enough about it. It's enough said that he is the villain.
He does.
He is top man. Like, even though he's not in charge in it, he's in charge. And you can tell he's running everything, which would be good for a Magneto type character, because as much as Magneto has these powers, he doesn't tend to do that much. He tends to be like, he obviously does.
I mean, maybe he does in our new version.
Maybe he does.
Yeah.
But I'm going from comics, like from what I know, he has the Brotherhood of Mutants, which is, filled with Toad, Blob, Juggernaut. He's got his whole gang in that. So, my idea was the idea that he's the mastermind kind of character, whereas I like how you've gone with that. Bit more depth to it.
I want the depth. I bet you do. I want to see that complex.
He wants that Rhys pick.
I want. What's my pick?
Oh, it's tough though. I do like them both. I do. Bryan Cranston.
Dead air.
I'm trying to think, guys. I'm sure if you're watching, who do you pick? Maybe there's people watching. If there are any that you're like massively like for or against, because I am more kind of an agreeable person. I know you like a debate, Rhys. I do like Bryan Cranston, but I do like Charles Dance, and I don't want to just be like, "Yep, give it to Rhys for because I feel like people will be like, "Right, well, Rhys could have sat here and told us his picks," because I want to kind of argue them. If there's somebody out there that's watching that's like, Charles Dance is a good pick.
I also don't want to just take all of them.
Yeah.
But I also feel like the same as you. I don't just want to give up on mine.
But then again, if the issue is if we start picking too many of yours, your plot is so different to what I was going with that the actors and actresses would fit to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Charles Dance, Bryan Cranston. Oh, what a horrible pick. Guys, please comment below and stuff. Like, I'm going to go with you again. I like Bryan Cranston. I've seen him in Breaking Bad, so it's not an actor or actress that I don't know. I think he's good. I think he's excellent. I'm not going to lie. I don't think on the golden screen...
Magnets, bitch.
From bloody meth to magnets.
That's what Jesse says one episode.
Methnito.
Magnets, bitch.
So yeah, I think I like Bryan Cranston. I think he's a good pick. He definitely is a great actor, and like I said, I don't think he's had his full showing on the big screen, whereas he has on TV. So I think this would be a good step for him to kind of go in.
Imagine him sliding that helmet on.
Yeah, he could have definitely fits the role. So,
I am the one who knocks.
I'm the one
with metal.
With metal, yeah. Knocks with brass door.
Just imagine his speech as well.
Yeah, he'd do it well. Yeah,
and bringing a side to it where you're like, oh, I kind of agree with him.
Yeah.
We should murder everyone.
Okay, so the next pick after him, we've got Magneto, we've got our villain. We're going to get somebody in now, Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, yeah.
No, Nightcrawler, I don't have down who previously played him. Do you have down?
Alan Cummings. And
was he also portrayed again?
Cody Schmidt-McPhee.
Cody Schmidt-McPhee.
The younger Nightcrawler.
So yeah, the art behind the character, basically, he works in, he's deformed in the comic line because mutants are basically.
I wouldn't say deformed. Yeah.
Well, that's the whole point. He is. I'm not going
blue.
with me, but he's blue. He's got the pointy ears, and he's actually people believe he's. He also has markings on his skin.
Aren't they self-imposed markings?
I believe they are through torture. But his dad is Azazel.
Yeah.
Who in the movies
is red.
Who's red, and that's the opposite. The blue pill.
That's
red
why
pill.
they don't get on.
And that's the
red
colour
versus
difference.
Blue.
So yeah, I think.
What colour's his mum?
I forget who his mum was.
She purple?
I forget who his mum was. I can't remember who his mum was in the comic. Because when I started reading, I made up my own theory.
And his mum Mystique?
It could be Mystique, but I'm not sure. I don't want to say solidly.
She's blue.
Because I had the theory that it was Beast and Mystique had a kid, and that was when I was a kid. That's what I believed. Yeah. And then, yeah, it was a weird one.
Beast. That's what they call him, Beast.
The Beast. So yeah, I think Nightcrawler is a fan favourite. I love Nightcrawler.
I like Nightcrawler.
I think he's fantastic.
If I could have a power, it'd be Nightcrawler's.
It wouldn't
Minus
be.
the blue.
Mine would be Mystique's. I think shapeshifting would be a proper fun time.
That can be next podcast.
Ooh. So yeah, moving on from there, Nightcrawler.
Welcome to episode 1 of the X-Men podcast. It's you, I think, first, isn't it, this time?
Is it? Sorry, I'm totally not with it. But my pick for Nightcrawler is actually going to be Thomas Middleditch. Okay? The leader
Who is that?
of Silicon Valley. He's in a TV series, he's the front man of Silicon Valley.
Have we mentioned him before?
He's a comedian. He's the guy who had his veneers done. And I love this guy. I think he's
Oh my
fantastic.
God.
He's going to bring a bit more of a comedic side to him. I think that's what we kind of need. But more to the point, he's actually played him in a comedic short. And I think his portrayal of him was hilarious. The accent, he kind of got on point. The whole look of him, he's actually casted in it. And, he looks exactly like him because for the short that they did. But I think more to the point, he's going to be less dialogue. But he wants what he says to be kind of like a little bit out there, a bit odd, a bit, a bit kind of. The best way to kind of describe him is he's a bit of an odd, introverted character, but he'll say something that like kind of might make the audience laugh. That's how I see him as the character, and I think Thomas Middleditch can play that perfectly well. He's 36 years old, so he's around about the same age for the group that I was building. He does actually come into the X-Men from being an outsider. He's brought in because I believe he's stoned and punished and stuff, and they believe he's the spawn of the devil. So he kind of has to take a job in a circus, and he's got great acrobatic ability, and he can also teleport. So for me, I think Thomas Middleditch is fantastic. Like I said, we'll link it down below. I'll link it. I think it was Pete Holmes. I think it was a short for his show that he did.
I've not seen this.
It's fantastic, honestly. He gets it's more of a comedic short, so obviously he's comedic in it. But the accent and everything, when you see him, it looks. That's why for me, he does it well because I've seen him as the character. Okay. So yeah,
that's cool.
I think that's where I'm going.
And he's got good teeth.
Yes, he's got fantastic teeth. The Nightcrawler needs those teeth.
How are we talking about his teeth again?
Because he got veneers.
My pick, and I've written it down, but I don't know how to say it actually. Oh, there it is. My pick is Gatun Matarazzo.
Right.
However I just butchered his name. But basically, he's a kid from Stranger Things.
The which kid?
The one that has a lisp.
You're going to have to clarify. Have you got his name from Stranger Things? Is Dustin.
Dustin, that's it. Yeah, Dustin from Stranger Things.
We didn't get that up, I just remembered. I remembered that. I want to clarify that. Because I love Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things.
Dustin from Stranger Things is my pick for Nightcrawler.
Very ragtag.
Like I said, I'm thinking my X-Men team is all different ages.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter the age.
It fits what you're going for,
age, race, gender, really
15 years old.
Yeah,
wow.
Because I'm thinking we have some X-Men that are younger, and they can be a bit comic relief, a bit funny, but they can also be, like, he's new, like you said, Nightcrawler is very often new to the team he's found. Mm-hmm. If our X-Men movie begins with our older X-Men finding this young boy who's alone and has been tortured, and slowly comes out of his shell, and then can be the funny Dustin kind of character that we've seen. And I'm thinking of a smaller Nightcrawler. Obviously, he's a small kid. Yeah. So that's something not been done before.
Visually, it could.
He can be in it a long time, and he can, as he'll get older. He's 15 now. As he gets older, he can grow into the role of being teenage Nightcrawler. Mm-hmm. They can. For the next one, they can have him a bit older as he'll age. As time works. And I just think he's funny. He can be the comic relief. I believe he's got the range. Like, obviously, we've only really seen him in Stranger Things, but he's good in it. Like, there's some sad moments, and he's fighting monsters in it and stuff. Yeah. And he can be the funny kid kind of comic relief, especially with his powers as well. He'll be teleporting around, doing naughty stuff, maybe being cheeky. And he can grow up into maybe a new team of X-Men down the line.
He's definitely got the one-liner quirks, kind of like things from Stranger Things. He's more of the comedic. Comedy relief kind of thing in that. I think he's definitely got potential. He's a young actor, like you said. I like what you'd do with him. But for me, I just love Thomas Middleditch. I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm going to argue him because I need to get some in here. It's going to be ridiculous. Thomas Middleditch, like I said, he's played the role for me. He's definitely comedic. So if you need somebody who's a comedic kind of aspect, like I said, it's not the fact that he's going to be comedic all the time. It's just these one-liners that he can throw away. And Thomas Middleditch has had a massive career in improv comedy. He's done stage comedy, stage improv many a times. He's known on that circuit. Growing up, I was a massive fan of the internet series Jake and Amir, so I don't know whether you've ever seen that. He was quite a common character that came onto that, and he was an outlandish, odd, weird character at times, and he fits that kind of quirky, odd character perfectly for me.
Yeah.
He's not really had his big break as of yet, and I think it will be coming. He's been in Wolf of Wall Street, believe it or not. He was like a small featured character and stuff. He jokes about it in interviews. He's always like, anybody's like, what's your biggest role that you've ever done?
Yeah.
And like they're talking about Silicon Valley, and then he brings it up as like, oh, I was actually in Wolf of Wall Street, and he's like joking about it. So he's funny off camera, and I think, like I said, he'll become a familiar face. He fits it well for me, like I said. Jake and Amir just crafted him for me. Like when I saw him in that, I was like, I love him to bits, and I followed him from that. So since he's done Silicon Valley, I watched him when he first got onto that. He kind of, for me, he does the accent, and that's going to be a thing as well. The accent is in him. Yeah. For Gaten, who's a younger actor, I don't know whether it'd be something that'd be a bit, I wouldn't want it to kind of be a bit tough for him, a tough kind of character. I believe he could take it on.
I mean, he's been in Broadway stage performances, including Les Miserables.
Potentially,
so he can probably do accents.
He could, but Les Miserables isn't always about the accents. It's always about
it's
singing.
Probably all French, isn't it?
No, forget him. He's not going to do it. So
I think he's way more of an exciting pick than yours.
Well,
just another.
I'm not going to give it yet. I'm going Thomas Middleditch. I'm going to go with it. I'm taking him. I'm going to shove him in. I am.
Your own and win.
When I've lost half of the board, I'm taking him. Thomas Middleditch.
I got better picks.
Thomas Middleditch is going in. Guys, we're sticking him in. We're having him. I'm going to be demanding. I'm putting my foot down. Thomas has got it in him. We're having him. Yes?
No.
Don't dead air me.
I don't agree.
Right, we're having him in. We're having him in.
Just another boring,
come on,
plain-looking white dude.
That's not the point. It's not the point.
I want a diverse
For me, I've seen him
X-Men
in the
team.
role. I know what you're saying, but that's what you want. We're kind of crafting more what we would want, and it's just going to be your pick.
I'm just arguing. That's the point
right.
of the show.
You know what? We're going to get him in.
Right. Joe's getting upset. So
let's get him in. Let's get him in. Come on.
Joe loves Jake and Amir, basically.
I love Jake and Amir.
That's it. Like, he's completely biased to this. I did some good research, picked a different and exciting character to play the role.
He's not lying, guys.
Joe's just gone with some character that he loves, that he wants to marry, basically. So.
Yes.
Thomas, just go with that, I guess. Like,
yes. I got one pick in, boys.
It's boring.
Yes.
Just more of the same. Bit of a downer on the podcast.
Anyway, moving on from my amazing pick, guys, I've got.
What a shame. We lost out on so much.
Go on. Sorry, move on.
So yeah, Beast. This has gone on. This is our longest podcast now, guys.
Wow.
And we only talked about one thing the whole time.
Dude, it's good though. It's got us arguing. It's got us debating.
Beast.
Who
has been played by Kelsey Grammer and Nicholas Hoult.
Frasier. That's what I know Kelsey Grammer from. Frasier. I believe it's yours first, if you want to go with him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care about this one, I guess. I've got someone, but I don't know.
We might have the same one.
The other ones I cared about a lot more on, but I got Rory McCann.
Rory McCann, can you acknowledge me and potentially the audience on Rory McCann? What's his name?
It's from Game of Thrones. He played the Hound.
The Hound.
Yeah.
Oh, why have you done this?
The Hound, the Beast. What?
Why have you done this?
What's yours?
Have
you got the Hound?
I love the Hound. The Hound's probably my favourite character in Game of Thrones.
And he's a bit aggressive, but I believe the guy could probably play smart as well.
Yeah.
But still be the aggressive beast that we need.
Is it Henry McCoy? Henry McCoy, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Beast's name.
I mean, I don't care about Beast, honestly, dude.
Do you know what? I think more to the point, when they're in the prosthetics, it's probably going to be more of a stunt double, so it's kind of the character outside.
I think he'll be in it. He wears the prosthetics all the
time.
Yeah,
but I'm saying like more of the character is going to be like, if they do the transition, which I was thinking they would do.
Yeah, probably.
you know, in the comics, I believe that he did actually stay a lot of the time as Beast. Like,
Yeah, I think he is Beast.
He is
all the
like
time,
full time. Like, but in the films, for some reason, they really wanted to get him not Beast.
I
Like,
think it's because they just wanted Nicholas Hoult.
they wanted like the werewolf kind of persona. And to be honest, in my idea of what it was going to be, he was going to become Beast, so we were going to see him outside of it. So I kind of went with what he looked like outside of it. And for me, I went with Eddie Redmayne, Oscar winner, Eddie Redmayne. You might know him, he's the lead actor from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and he also was in Theory of Everything. He's played diverse characters. He also played a female in a role before. He plays that kind of nerdy kind of scientist. He would fit that kind of side of Jekyll and Hyde perfectly for me.
Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne, yeah.
Are you off your rocker?
For me, why?
That's just.
You shutting me down because you want Gaten back in? We can put Gaten in.
No,
if you want.
I'm not bothered about Gaten.
Are you sure?
I do think he would have been much better.
I think Eddie Redmayne, for me personally, he would kind of fit the scientist role. The nerdy, like, he does like the kind of like the introverted, once again, you know, different kind of introverted character to Nightcrawler, but, you know, in himself as like a scientist, you know, smart kind of intellectual character. He would do it, and he does it in a lot of his films. You know, he has a whole, you know, I wouldn't want to typecast him.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the idea of maybe changing it up, I agree with, but he does kind of fit. Like I said, what I've done is that I know you've gone for diversity, you've gone for a bit of a different, the
I want my
ragtag
X-Men
bunch.
to be weird and
But that's for
interesting
me.
and cool,
I'm coming
not
from the
just white
comics.
people.
What I went right. It's not about white people. You changed it to a race thing. You make it sound like I want to pick all your picks because it's nothing to do with that. What I went with is I went from the comics, and that's what I did. From growing up with these, what they look like in the comics, I just went from what we had. Maybe it is kind of a white, you know, like overhaul in the comics because that's kind of what it was at the time period. So maybe that's on me, you know, that I've kind of gone with that. I like the idea that you mix it up. Maybe this is not the one to mix up because they're kind of similar, you know, they're both white male actors, you know, middle age, you know. So
yeah, I mean this one.
I think it'd be.
I don't think Eddie Redmayne would do it.
In what sense? What do you mean?
I think it's way too small a part for Eddie Redmayne.
Beast has a
If he's going to be in Marvel, he's
Beast's
going to want to be
quite-
the main hero character.
He
Eddie
would do,
Redmayne.
yeah. But for me,
Beast is almost like a joke, not a joke, but like
he's not a joke.
a rough kind of animal character that will be.
But
in
he's
a
not
fight
as
and
much
stuff.
an animal character though. He's still intellectual as his character. It's like
He is, yeah.
how Kelsey
I know,
Grammer
but-
played him. He's not like, you know. To be honest, Wolverine's more of a beast than Beast. That's the kind of character that he is. He's more like agility is his thing, you know.
But he's also meant to be big. Eddie Redmayne isn't big.
He's not meant to be that big, like big.
He's not meant to be like physically strong and big.
Oh, like I thought you meant tall wise.
not
He's not
tall,
like.
yeah.
But that's the issue that I have with potentially your pick on the
But
side.
Eddie Redmayne looks like similar height and look to our Cyclops pick.
Yeah. Well,
I just think.
I don't know. Rory is. I don't know how tall Rory, the guy who plays the Hound, is. I think he's probably 6'8". He's about 6'8". He's 100 and. Oh, right. So he's nearly 2 meters tall. So he's tall.
Yeah.
He's very tall.
Look at him. Looks like Beast.
I love. You know what? I love the Hound, and to be honest, I think Hound is one of my favourite characters. So I believe he could do something with it. So I'm not even gonna. Eddie Redmayne for me fits the character more as him outside of the Beast costume. Like you said, maybe it is too small of a role. That's a fair argument. So let's give it Rory. I think that's a fair pick. It'd be something that's a bit different.
Yeah.
You know, he is tall and maybe that will become an issue, but we picked it now. If you guys have any others for Beast, because like I said, Beast is an odd one to pick, but we'll see. We'll go from there. So, yeah, he's in. He's in. Moving on from there, we're going to move on now to Iceman.
Yeah.
Not Nathan Drake. What's his name? Is it Nathan Drake? Not Nathan Drake. I'm getting that mixed up with Uncharted.
Who played him?
Pardon?
Who played? Oh, you're thinking his character name?
Yeah, his character name. He's got
Don't
Drake
know.
in it. It's got Drake in it. I forget it. But yeah, so Iceman for... Is it you or me? Who goes first?
Don't know. Who's played apparently by Sean Ashmore.
Yes, Sean Ashmore.
Um,
Good portrayal, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, I think it's you to go first.
He's
He's alright.
Mine's going to be a big one. It's somebody that I saw suggested. I thought he kind of fits it. There's been downsides with him in the past, but it's a big actor. It's Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield in as Iceman, 34 years old, kind of fitting around the age that I was going for. Now the issue was he was the Amazing Spider-Man. it didn't work out for him. He grew up being a Spider-Man fan and
He
stuff.
did 2 movies.
And he was so upset that he said that it didn't work out for him though in the end because where it's ended up going with Tom Holland. But Andrew Garfield as Iceman kind of looks how he did in the comics. Like I said, that's what I went with as my casting, just because the plot that I was going to follow was actually the original 1963 comic, the X-Men, Volume 1. So for me, looking at that as characters kind of developing, that's where I went with.
Yeah.
So I kind of stuck to the comics and what they were in the comics and like actors that resembled how they look. So that's where my issue is. So yeah, Andrew Garfield, I think Iceman's got like sharp one-liners. He's like not the main guy, but he does in the comics become an Omega level mutant at one point because he just goes bloody powerful as anything. Which, when a planet's covered, what is it, 80% of water, the planet? Something ridiculous.
Don't know.
Somebody who controls that exact substance is going to be quite powerful when he freezes it. So yeah, Iceman, I think it could be a potential.
Not more powerful than the sun, though.
Not, but when you're in comic land, what is powerful? I don't know. But I think I went with Andrew Garfield, like I said, giving him the chance to go again in the Marvel Universe, potentially giving another shot. Maybe his kind of portrayal of Spider-Man crafted slightly into Iceman. Maybe the sharp one-liners would be a bit more kind of comfortable because with Spider-Man, everybody said it was too sharp. The one-liners didn't feel like he felt like he was being cocky at times, and he didn't feel like he was the best portrayal of how Spider-Man should be a bit more.
Spider-Man's really cocky, so that's a weird.
Spider-Man is, but he's more relatable. Like how people said his portrayal of him was.
I think his portrayal of Spider-Man was good. His portrayal of Peter Parker was what they.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
okay.
Like it's kind of he was too cocky, and like I think there was one part where he was like, people said there was scenes that I watched where they dissect it, and it's like he's basically bullying a student in one of the films. I can't remember which film it was, whether it was the first or second, but it's like not what you really want from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Whereas with Iceman, if he did adapt that kind of character into Iceman, it's something that would be a bit more like acceptable because people aren't looking up to him as people do with Spider-Man. He's not as much as a symbol.
Yeah.
Who've you got?
I've got Thomas Brody Sangster.
Love it already. Think I want him over Andrew Garfield.
Really?
Fantastic, yeah.
You know him?
Yes. In Game of Thrones, isn't he?
He's in Game of Thrones, yeah, true. I actually forgot about that.
Yeah.
I didn't write that down.
Yeah.
He's been in Maze Runner, apparently.
He was in Maze Runner.
He was also in
Nanny McPhee and Love
I used
Actually.
to love as a kid, which I'm gonna just keep talking, Joe, because I'm just gonna Google.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll just keep talking as well.
But he's a good actor.
Nowhere Boy, is that it?
Nowhere Boy?
No, it's not Nowhere Boy.
Nowhere Boy, no, it's not that one.
No.
I didn't think he got long enough in Game of Thrones. I was a bit sad to see him die off as a character because he's a good actor.
Feather Boy, that's it.
Never.
He was in a BBC series, Feather Boy, when he was little.
Okay.
Which doesn't really count, but that's just me talking. Yeah, I just think... Yeah, I think... Obviously, he's had some small parts in movies, and in my head, and in Game of Thrones, in my head, I see Iceman as a smaller character than the rest.
He is, yeah.
But I think this guy's got some depth.
Yeah.
Can be... Yeah, I think he could do it.
Definitely.
I think Andrew Garfield, I don't think he's ever going to go back to the Marvel Universe anytime
No,
soon.
No, I'm not even arguing that. Like I said, what I was working from is his portrayal of Spider-Man and how that could be crafted to another. And I think how they are in the comics, he would fit that, and he looks like him and stuff. And that's, like I said, what I was going with. But I'm going to be honest.
It's a bit of a downgrade, talking about like character-wise.
Yeah.
From Spider-Man to Iceman.
I think
maybe not.
It's hard to say with the Marvel Universe being what it is at the moment. It's something that I'm sure everybody would kind of want to come in on. Saying like what you said with Eddie Redmayne, I'll agree with. But at the same time, it's kind of like. It's hard to argue, is it a smaller role because how big Marvel Universe is and stuff. I'm sure, people would be willing to adapt just to get into it because it's going to be a legacy.
But if this is a group movie, 10 characters, some of them have to be smaller roles.
100% they will. 100% they will.
Like, we're not talking about the Avengers where they all get their own film and then come together.
No.
They're all going to be in it together at the start.
Yeah.
So you're going to have some smaller actors to take up those other roles.
I like little Tommy Boy. I think we should get him in. I don't even think we need to argue it. I think this one could be a quick wrap-up. I think I like him. Yep.
Let's go.
I like him a lot.
Yep.
No, it's going to be the honourable mention kind of thing. It's just the order of how...
Rogue first.
Is it Rogue first? Are we doing Rogue?
Our last, but we're going to speak about it and then do the
Go on then, yeah, we'll do that then. So if you want to speak Rogue,
So Rogue, originally played by Anna Paquin. Is it me to go first?
Go on then.
Kind of went. I don't know. We picked this. I forgot about Rogue, honestly. And I added her in afterwards, but I'm going with Alexandra Daddario.
Daddario. Ooh.
Mainly because I love her.
Okay.
Yeah. Argue that. Argue love.
Is there any way to argue love? I think,
no, she's been in quite a few movies now. She was in Percy Jackson.
And The Lightning Thief.
I remember that film. Action movie.
Yes.
She's come a long way from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know much about Rogue at all, apart from the movies.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, that's not really an accurate portrayal of Rogue. Maybe that's
she was a lot more powerful. I think she had a lot more to her in the.
Yeah.
The
honestly, comics. I probably could have thought better about this one. I just went with someone who I like.
Yeah. Fair enough. No, it's fair portrayal. I mean, these are our picks. I went with an actress that I struggle to pronounce her name, but her name is Hayden as a first name, and then it sounds French, but it's Panettiere. Yeah, I struggle with the pronunciation.
She's got that twang, hasn't she?
I believe she's from New York, but I think she has done it. I think in Nashville.
Yeah,
she's done it.
In Heroes.
And in Heroes, I think, but she was the cheerleader.
Hero.
And so that's why I took her from. Thanks, man. I think she's definitely got it in her. We did a high five then. I don't know whether you can understand what that sound was, but I think for me as Rogue, she's definitely got that kind of character in her. Rogue wasn't portrayed, like you said, the best. I think that was more down to scripting because the last actress to play her was. Do you have her down? I forget her name. I don't think the acting
Anna
was.
Paquin.
Sorry, what?
Anna Paquin.
Anna Paquin. Was it Anna Paquin?
Yeah, I said it.
Sorry, I missed that. Her. Yeah, so Anna Paquin was the last person to play her.
Yeah.
I think she played it all right for what she was given, but I think once again it was probably down to screen time and casting that was the issue. In the comics, she's a lot more of a prevalent figure and she's a lot more powerful, and she does have a lot, like she would be one of the main ones. And I think it sounds weird to say because she is kind of young, Hayden, but I believe she's about, is she 34, 35? I'm not too sure on her age. But she's definitely got like the like you said, she can do the southern charm, the southern accent, and that's a large part to Rogue. And she's good looking, and I think in Heroes, she played.
Don't know what else got to do with it, but yeah,
and she's good looking because she's at the end of the day, I'm just saying that from my own personal preference, but
keep it in your pants, Joseph.
Sorry. I like her though, and I think she would be.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the accent is a big thing for me.
Yeah,
it's got that sass.
Jokes. Actually, I'm picking Tom Hardy for Rogue.
I thought you were going to pick someone.
So Hayden's in. Nice. And then we move on from there to our final kind of one because Quicksilver's an honourable mention, but we're going to move on.
They're both honourable mentions, I'd say.
I don't know where the Colossus is. We're
going to go straight.
I don't know where the Colossus isn't that much of an honourable mention when
Colossus
you think about it.
is already taken.
But so was Quicksilver.
That's why they're both honourable mentions.
But they did it. That's what I'm saying. They've done it. They've done
Colossus.
They've done Quicksilver and killed him. They've not done Colossus in the MCU. It's not impossible for them to do.
Deadpool's so popular, they're not going to get rid of him from it.
But then so was the X-Men franchise. That's not a fair argument.
I don't see Deadpool going anywhere in this merger.
I get what you're saying, and I think they will keep any Deadpool franchise that they do into himself. But I don't think it's impossible for them to get a Colossus.
I'm willing to do it. I'm just saying, I think he's as honourable as Quicksilver.
In the comics, he's a fan favourite. People love Colossus. Like I've got little.
Well, I'm a fan, and I hate him.
I think for me, Colossus we should do now because he's not that much of an honourable mention because it is possible for him to do.
On to the honourable mention characters.
Quicksilver is dead. That's the issue. He's dead.
Colossus taking on a massive franchise that's still going to be going.
X-Men's, that's not a point, because X-Men's just as big.
Let's move on, we're just arguing
No,
again.
it's not.
Let's carry on doing it.
Let's speak about it.
I'm still going to talk about him.
I don't get it.
I've got a choice.
Alright, I'm going to say non-honourable mention Colossus. It is a viable pick because he's not been done in the MCU, whereas Quicksilver has. And who's your picks? You go first.
Channing Tatum.
Ooh, interesting. Has been took for Gambit. He's already Gambit.
In the X-Men world that we're on about is being collapsed.
No, I think he's getting his own film thing.
Nothing's happening.
Is it not happening
If
now?
they get merged now, they probably won't do it.
Fair point.
Also, why is he going for Gambit? It looks nothing like Gambit.
He doesn't.
I want to see my second choice for Colossus was just CGI him.
Just CGI.
Like they have just literally do what they've done in Deadpool.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the best way to do the character.
Like you spoke about, didn't you? You said like you did a little.
I did an essay on it.
Oh, there's like.
He's played by 5 actors.
5 actors.
At least 5 actors in the Deadpool world.
Yeah.
I think that's honestly my thing. That's how you should do it.
Yeah, it's worked. It works. Don't break it.
And I think Channing Tatum could maybe voice him.
Channing Tatum's definitely got the build.
Acting.
Like, you know, if they're doing like the body casting as well, he's definitely got the right size and stuff for Colossus. Like you said, the voice with him being Russian, you know, he would have to do the act, but we can't fully comment on that to see how he would do. I've got a few picks, and I think you know who one is because I bloody love this guy. If you've seen Stranger Things, if you know who Hopper is, this guy is my life. David Harbour, I love him. I think he's amazing. He doesn't fully get the look of the role. You know, when he's non-metallic, he wouldn't fully look like Colossus. But if you're going with your ragtag bunch, he's somebody who's a bit different.
I thought you were going with ones that actually look like the X-Men.
Well, I'm saying for your sake, that's why I said in yours. I'm saying for you,
okay.
it would
You're
fit
to
you
win me over.
I'm winning you over for once.
Right, I agree. Let's go with him.
But David Harbour, I've got 3 picks though. I've got 3 picks for this one. I love Colossus. Colossus was one of my favourites. So I kind of picked David Harbour, and then I was like, am I being too biased? Am I picking somebody who I love?
You've been biased to all of yours.
Alright, yeah. Guy who's got half the ball.
I like Jake and Amir. This guy was in Jake and Amir.
But David Harbour, looking at him a bit more, he has just got the role of Hellboy, which I believe is a DC franchise. Maybe that will come into it. So I did think about that. But he definitely has the ability to play this big kind of bulky kind of, you know, character. We'll see how he does.
I would have gone with him as Beast if I was you.
Beast is an interesting pick, yeah. But then for me, Beast is a more smally kind of like.
We're getting on for 2 hours.
That's a long podcast. It's a good one. We
could even stuck this out at all, then.
But yeah, so I think for me, the other choices were Henry Cavill as Colossus, somebody who's hench as anything. I thought I'd try him out, see him. But like I said, these was just somebody that I tried out. And then I struggle with his name, but it's Hathor Bjornsson, the guy who's the Mountain in Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
He's already got like the
big,
the European tone to him as well.
Can he really act?
He's not, but then again, they might be able to cover it up potentially with just the muscle, the look of him, and like not making Colossus speak that much. Like you said, if they've got so many characters on screen, less screen time might work the better for it.
Yeah.
As long as he's there, just persona, character, and body.
It's a good idea. It's a shame he's already taken by Deadpool.
I think
moving on to our next
honourable mention. Bjornsson though, I think he's probably the best. If we're picking him for ourselves, I think for me that's why I was saying these were my honourable mentions.
Yeah.
Hathor Bjornsson was my main guy.
Okay.
How about we go with Hathor Bjornsson with one of the other guys working on him being Channing Tatum?
Let's go with all 4 of them.
Let's go with all 4 and then just
right, sorted.
A digital animator to get it all.
They can all turn up whenever they want on set.
4 people are Colossus. It works. Excellent. I like it. Henry Cavill switching sides.
Since it's just an honourable mention, doesn't really matter, does it? So
it's
moving on to our next
right,
honourable
Hathor
mention.
Bjornsson gets the pick because it's not an honourable mention.
Moving on to our second honourable mention, Quicksilver.
Right, see you in a bit, guys.
Who was originally played by Evan Peters.
Yes. And Aaron Taylor-Johnson, who died in the MCU.
I'm not even mentioning that.
Oh, are you not? Oh, shut up. Yeah. That was the issue I had. More to the point, this is why he's an honourable mention, because he's been in and he's died. Colossus hasn't. This is where it comes to with me. Maybe
haven't you read the comic where he comes back to life?
Oh, everybody has.
Looks different.
Everybody has.
But exactly.
That's a fair point. Nobody's dead in
But I wrote down Evan Peters.
Yeah.
No, I put lol.
I put Evan Peters.
I mean, they should just bring him across however they possibly can do it.
Yeah.
Have him time travel or whatever.
Well, there is the theory that in Marvel there's like ultimate universes.
Yeah,
like there's like
bring across the good people.
Unlimited universes. So the theory that it's not impossible that it could be like, oh, this is a Quicksilver from another universe.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of an inside joke, the fact that Evan Peters gets switched over because he's fantastic in the role.
Yeah.
A main factor is going to be as well the point that Evan Peters as Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, whoever we have as that, are actually Magneto's children. So these are Bryan Cranston's children in our theory.
And they were with Bryan Cranston in Godzilla. It all connects. My other option was Noah Jupe, who was a kid in Quiet Place.
No, that's not going on. No, shut that down. He's an honourable mention.
What?
Evan Peters gonna.
Let me explain
No,
it.
we're gonna do universe. We're gonna get Evan Peters
Listen.
in. No, I like Evan Peters too much.
Shut
we
up,
both
dude.
got him.
Shut up.
Why
You're
would
such
we
a
not pick
bad
some-
co-host? Shut up. Basically, I was gonna have Gaten from Stranger Things, who's a kid. This guy's who's a Noah Jupe, who's a kid. Maybe you got some other X-Men who are like kids, and we'd have like the kid X-Men team, and there could be like the comic relief. You got Quicksilver, who's running around really fast as this little cheeky kid, and then you got Gaten as Nightcrawler, who's also
It's not happening.
teleporting
Thomas
around.
Middleditch.
It would
I
be
got
really
it for you, boy.
funny. Everyone would love it.
Tommy, you're in, boy.
But we
Thomas
have to go
Middleditch.
with the white people.
Yee. Thomas Middleditch. He's getting it. I love him.
Thomas Middle bitch. Said
And on
I
that
said
note,
last
guys,
episode.
That's going to be our roundup. Like you said, some good picks.
I think we'll
overall.
have them all on screen. The ones we
Yeah,
picked.
I think we should have them up now. So yeah, this is going to be our little pick.
I think I'm envisioning throughout as we pick someone they'll appear, and we'll just group them all.
Next to the picture
However-
of how who they are in the comics kind of
I
thing.
know I was seeing like a group of them.
No, I'm saying like throughout as we're doing it.
Yeah.
So like next to like the actor who's playing.
We should
like,
discuss
the
this after
comic.
the podcast.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is going to be how we're rounding up. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for now, we've come up to how many? Just under 2 hours on a podcast.
Yeah, if you stuck this out, I'm sorry.
Good on you guys. I mean, me and Rhys argued. You know, this is why I don't like doing these podcasts when we get arguing. It upsets me. I don't sleep, guys. But if you stuck it through, thank you very much for listening. It's been episode 3. It's been a long one.
If you're still watching, subscribe, like the video, give us a comment, let us know what you think. Let us know why Joe was wrong. And
Why you hate Rhys?
should obviously be
You
cast
have
in
like
these films.
75% of the board and you're still having a go. That's the issue that I have. I was like,
We
yeah,
should
let's,
have had
you know what,
Andre
let's
Brower
work
in
with
it,
Let's work
dude.
with it. And then you're still like,
Come on.
No,
Andre
I'm not
Brower,
happy.
Captain Holt.
guys, if we get to episode 4 and I've still not strangled Rhys,
You wish, you little bitch.
can't get round your chubby neck. Yes, it's been episode 3. I've enjoyed it. We've had some goofs.
Sorry, guys, I'm just looking at Joe's rubbish beard.
Thanks, guys.
Anyway, see you later. Whip It Out podcast episode 3. Out.